with you. The whole time I was overseas in beautiful Greece and Italy, 35-degree heat. I was just thinking about getting back to 10 degrees out in Geelong, watching the Geelong District Football League. So I'm excited to be here. We've got a great contest today. I think if you look at the round 3 clash at these teams when they last played each other, there's about 15 changes with either team. So it's going to be a real test of the depth today. But I'm looking forward to see how each team can combat all the injuries that they're going to have.
Well, as I said, we've spoken about the Belmont Lions over the last couple of weeks, and they've been in a situation where they haven't been at their best over the last couple of weeks and played some good opposition, but they've still managed to find a way to win the game of footy. So it must say something for, obviously, one, the way they're being coached, and two, that the way that the club has been able to manage a little bit of depth, and that's probably not as prominent when you look through some of the reserve sides that are going around. A lot of clubs really fail to struggle once they have maybe 2 or 3, but they've had a lot more on both sides at the present time, so it's really testing what they've got.
Well, I mean, Smith, you just look, you can look at all levels of football. You can look at the highest grade in the AFL, and that when you have to win ugly. When it gets to this time of the season, every team's going to have injuries. Every team's going to not have their best team on the park every week, and if you have older players as well, you're going to want to give them a rest, manage them through the year. So you've got to know how to win ugly. I feel like Belmont do know how to win ugly at the moment. And if you just keep clocking up those wins, you get to the latter half of the season, you can start resting players, and look, they're sitting pretty on top at the moment. So if they go a couple more weeks, a couple more wins, they're going to have to be able to start resting players, and they're going to be good for the long run for it.
And obviously that time off in between doesn't hurt, as it did that for Thompson last year. You know, they struggled with injuries. All of a sudden, come finals time, everyone would be saying all of a sudden was available and playing. And then they got on a bit of a run, and no one could stop them because they didn't look like getting beaten during that final series. So
just on today's game as well, we'll get into it a bit later as well, but I think the last time they played in round 3, that was the time that was the 40-minute quarter, was it? And it was
first quarter, yes.
Yeah, and it was against Thompson,
41 minutes one quarter, then 24 minutes second quarter.
Thompson, I think, 4 in that quarter.
Bucket McLeod did say he wasn't even going to go to the timekeepers and ask what happened because he was afraid that would happen. And exactly it did. I think they had an extra 21 minutes kicking with the breeze of Belmont Lions.
Yeah,
but,
so obviously, but obviously a completely different game today, being on a much smaller ground, the smallest ground in the league. So you're going to see, how the Thompson's game stacks up. Being a bit of a taller team, but having quite a lot of their personnel out. They've got 6-7 kids, 21 and under, which is, you wouldn't see that in GDFL very often at all. So they're going to be able to run on this ground, but being a smaller ground, is that the wrong? Do you need to be a taller team, or is it better to be a fast team? I guess we'll see today. Yeah,
well, I suppose it's not going to matter who much is out there as long as they're out there and doing their role. So that's pretty much what some players have been doing. And as I said, we looked through the Belmont Lions side here this afternoon, and it's nowhere near like it was when we saw them last time around. A number of names there that I'm not even familiar with. So it's going to be interesting actually identifying them on the field for a start, and then obviously being able to call the right player with the ball in hand grab.
Well, that's part of the battle, isn't it? I see Thompson, maybe I'm not right in the head, but I see Thompson as a pretty small ground too. I don't think that's a very big ground. It's obviously bigger than this.
It's got big goalposts.
Yeah, well,
biggest goalpost in the league.
John mentioned the goalpost, but I don't think it's a real big ground, so I'm not quite sure whether that'll make a lot of difference. But what worries me, I said last week that, as you just said, what Thompson did last year, and I had a feeling they could do it again, but I'm really worried about them because you've got Saladin's not going to play at all, by the looks of it.
No. Well, he's got an ACL.
Gone. He's done. He's retired.
Yeah.
So, Troop out could be for the whole year. He's going to try and play. He's going to try and play round 18. And if it pops out, it pops out. If it doesn't, he'll play finals. So I don't know whether that'll work or not. Freeman's not back in yet with a hammy. So but he's had a really good year. Boyd's playing today. Let's see how long he lasts, because I'm not quite sure his calf's 100%. And there's another bloke out there today, I won't mention his name, but he'll play with a broken hand. So, I just don't know if they can. They'll get to the finals, but I don't know if they'll have the cattle. Knight reckons he'll come back round 17 and play finals. If anyone in the comp can do it, he can. Yeah. But it's still a big, big ask, no matter how good you are. So I really worry that if they will get there, but I worry if they've got the cattle to be able to do what they did last year. Because some of these sides, like East and Belmont, they're playing a lot better than they were last year. I think they'll go in with a finals series under their belt, which will on St Albans, which will really help them. So, but it's still up in the air, and I'm still going to keep 6 in there. I'm going to keep Inverleigh there as an outsider. If a couple of sides above them do lose, Belpost still have played some great footy. I tell you what, they've played some ordinary footy at times too.
Yeah,
they drop 1 or 2 and they're back in the mix.
I just find now, and I just reckon they've found a little niche now, and I think, again, we're talking about injuries. Timmy Barton, probably important to them as well. Bo McNamara came back last week and played. So there's your solid effort, or the bloke you want back in defence. It just gives them a little bit extra.
I just don't like to count sides out yet. In case, say Belpost still, touch wood, get 3 or 4 injuries and bring them back a little bit, or other sides get more injuries. It's still got 5 or 6 games to go. I still think you've got to leave Inverleigh in there because you've got to take everything into account.
Yeah, as I said, that while there's a chance, I suppose you've still got them available. But as I said, I thought last week there was 6. Now I firmly believe there's only the top 5 that will go through. Whether that changes the shape or position on the ladder as it currently stands, I'm not too sure. But as I said, I think from where I sit, I reckon that's pretty much done and dusted, and it's probably a lot longer in the season than we've had the call made previous years. But a couple other games, and I suppose still some importance in it. Geelong West at home this afternoon, taking on Anarchy. We know that a few of their players were spelled last week and in the need of a spell, but they'll need to front up today and make sure that they beat West. And I would think West have been able to run with some of their top sides over the last couple of weeks, and if they can put a bit of a fright up Anarchy early, who knows what could happen out there. Your thoughts?
Anarchy. I heard on the radio this morning they copped a bit of abuse actually for resting Dalhouse and those blokes, but I spoke to an Anarchy boy this morning, and he reckons Dalhouse absolutely needed a rest. So if you need a rest, no matter who you're playing, if you need the rest, you got to rest. Because, if he plays no win and he misses games or he's tired, and especially if they make the finals, he'd be no good on St Albans. It's a bit like Cripps at Carlton. They should rest him. They can't go anywhere, and he does a power of work. So if you need a rest, you need a rest. Maybe they thought they probably would beat Corio, but well done to Corio. They were fantastic. But, are they out of it? Well, we'll see today, because you just don't know. I don't know who's playing. I'd like to look. Their best side's top 5. Whether they get to play their best side, whether they can come back, you might be right. They probably will miss out, but I think they'll win today. But I just got a funny feeling West can play better than what they're playing. They've had a lot of injuries. They've had blokes come into their side and young blokes, and I just think they can play better. And I've got a funny feeling. I reckon they've got one good big game left in them. And if it's today, they can win. But I have to go with the flow, and I have to go Anarchy, but only just. I think West will give them a run for their money.
So the big problem out there has been is Blair. I'm not too sure that he's back in their side just yet, because they've had a bloke by the name of Butters, which I haven't seen much of. He's been kicking goals for them, and prior to that, it was Blair that was their mainstay. Mitchell was obviously playing a bit further up the ground, so obviously he wasn't getting involved in the goal scoring. But again, as I said, I think they need to have Blair back in their side. Again, I'm not too sure that it was a long term. I think it was actually a concussion, I think, that called him out the first time. So
when was that? Because that's only 21 days.
Yeah, but that's definitely been some time ago. That was a game that we actually saw. Now, that was at West that day. I can't even remember who they played that day now. That's how long ago it was. But
Winch.
It was too, yes, that's right. And I don't think he's played since then, or I'm not 100% sure he's played since then. But he was a very important cog to that Geelong West side, and he has been back in there. So they need to get someone in, but I think they have been playing okay, as I said. They've been troubling some of their more senior sides, or top sides in on ladder, but haven't been able to sustain it over that longer period. But they could do that this afternoon, just shake this one right up. What are your thoughts, Arch?
Yeah, I think it's a quite interesting game. We're still on Anarchy. Is it on Crowan?
Yeah, no, we're still talking about Geelong West and Anarchy.
Anarchy, yeah, I thought so. So Bosley, obviously, 53 goals this year. He's been one of the best players nearly every single game. You got Dalhouse, who, I did hear the same things as Grubby said. Giving him a rest, but if the player needs a rest, you have to honour that. Just even though he's the best player. And he's the most influential in the team. If they don't give him a rest, then it's going to be more detrimental to them later on in the season. Especially, there's still mathematically a chance to make finals, like well and truly. And they get a couple more of these easy wins. Like they should well and truly win today and start getting some momentum. They've already got a little bit, but if they can knock off these easier teams, they pick off a couple later in the season, they also you look at where they come back the last 2 years, how far they've come. It's a great testament to Jake Mawson down there, and just well done to Anarchy. But no, I think if they get Barter, if he's playing well, and you got Gerard.
Well, he wasn't playing. He didn't play the last time we saw them. He'd been out injured. They had the three big men, and we're really surprised some of their structural, the way they lined up in that game against Inverleigh, because they had their tallest player, their ruckman, playing on a wing. And I think we spoke about it briefly last week on the air. So they're trying things. Now, whether that was to benefit them when they get to St Albans come finals time, but in doing it, I don't know whether it, as I said, they won the game at Inverleigh, but obviously last week they maybe didn't have that connection to do that. I'm not 100% sure.
Who's the fly-in? Josh Mawson. He's still...
He played definitely against Inverleigh, and I'm pretty sure he was back there last week.
He's only played 6 games of the year. So, as I'm looking at here, that's right.
See, Davey was the other one. Davey was the other one that came in against Inverleigh and didn't play last week, I don't think.
Well, he's at Port Melbourne.
Yep, and Long, he got injured a couple of weeks back, or 2 or 3 weeks back, and I don't know whether he actually come back into their side as well. So he's another important player in that cog. If they can get those sort of players back, as I said, their list is definitely is good enough to play finals football, but now I don't know whether they're going to get there.
Well, I'm not quite sure that it is good enough, because I'm not quite sure they can fit their best list on the park with the points.
At one time.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the other bloke that I reckon I've seen him over the last couple of weeks is Jay Lever, has played a couple of games as well.
Yep.
He didn't play that many last year, and he's a really good player. But as I say, I'm not quite sure. Someone will let me know if I'm wrong. But I'm not quite sure their very best side can play on the same day. I think points might prevent that.
Just on West as well, I know we've seen them a couple of times this year. Last time we saw them, I think it was out Belpost Hill, was it? And Jackson Collins was one that were a lot of hype coming into this season, and just another player that we've seen, it happen with Bosey when he came to the league. It happened with Steele from, was it East Geelong?
Yep.
When you come into the league, it takes a little bit of time to get used to the GDFL. It's a different flow. It's a different tempo of football. And so you can see that he's really started to come into his own, and he's been in the best players the last few weeks as well.
Kicked the winning goal last week.
Yeah, exactly. So
I tell you what, I've heard a few people from Bannockburn weren't real happy about that either. Apparently he put his head down and charged in, run into a bloke standing still, and got a high tackle and kicked the winning goal. That's what I've been told. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Well, it's good to see he's starting to find some form as well. So hopefully, because we were giving big raps about him early in the season. So, if hopefully Geelong West, obviously a developmental season, a season that's just going to be a stepping stone. If they can keep their core group of players together, it's going to do them a lot better going into the next few seasons.
You know what? We've been saying that for 4 or 5 years. They got all the players. West got players from Ballerine, and we say if they can hold them, they'll be good. But they seem to lose them and have to start again all the time, and they can't get their best list together at the one time.
Well, why do you think that is, Grub? Why do you think they keep losing it?
Well,
is it to do with the club?
Well, I think a couple of them come and got injured and didn't play many games and decided to go away.
Injuries really hurt them.
Yeah, they did.
For a couple of years there.
Remember that
really
at East one day? It was touch and go. Who'd win that game? We got there and we looked at the list, and their best side had 8 players out. So, they've had a lot. And I think some of these Ballerine blokes, they get injured, they don't play many games and they leave. And the poor buggers have got to start again. They need stability. They need to get these blokes and keep them. But they don't seem to be able to, because we've been saying next year, and there hasn't been a next year for them just yet.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of flow on from the Geelong West senior side come back, and Collins was one of those players that came back this year. Now, while Frangos is involved and coaching there, you would think that he's going to have a pretty good rapport with most of those blokes, as he would have played with them all. So you're right. They've just got to be able to hold their own now, get through the end of the season, win a couple of games along the way, and this is obviously, I would think, a winnable game for them. So if they can do that and show a little bit. Again, it's like any club. If you're going to go out and you want to come to a club, you're not going to go where someone's getting beaten every week in, week out by large margins. So they've got to be able to put something up when they go and approach people.
Just to finish on that as well, Smithy, I feel like a broken record. I feel like we say this every week, but they're going to obviously it's very difficult for a GDFL club to get juniors with all the teams they're competing with, and kids, having a higher priority wanting to go play for your Marys, your Joeys, your Newtowns. But I think looking at any any coach that's in the seniors looking at kids that are 16, 17, coming through the ranks of maybe a BFL club, under 18s, for example, Torquay, you're going to have to send 50, 60% of those kids are going to have to go to another club. They're not going to get a game at Torquay. So you're going to start having a look now at those kids and seeing if you can get them over. Even if they've still got a year of juniors left, start going around, get them, see if you can get an 18s team before they come
bring
up.
some points with them.
Yeah, and we spoke about that as well. They shouldn't bring that many points with them. I know, yeah.
Well, the other thing of what you said before about, with Frangos there, and they've got their own side in the GFL. That's where it's broken down, I think, because you get a bloke who's played GFL football with West and said, all right, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm retiring, I'm going to go and play somewhere else, and they say, yeah, come and play at West in the GDFL. And then someone from the Colac League or the Ballaroon, they give them a few extra dollars, and you don't see them. They're not going to do that just because they played at West. They're going to go with if they can get a few extra dollars. And I reckon if they could get all those players back from the GFL, they'd be a good side. But they don't seem to get too many of them, and the real good ones.
Yeah, well, as I said, that's going to be a continual problem as Grub. Money does speak louder sometimes, rather than a little bit of loyalty or to stay within the same colours. But as I said, that's going to be just a fact in football for some time, I would think. So, well, next game is Corio, as I said, buoyed by a solid victory last week and had a number of scoring shots. And obviously, the margin could have blown out a lot more had they been able to kick straight. Unfortunately, I think they lost one of the boys with a broken leg this week. Now, who was that? Did I see that somewhere? I'm pretty sure I read that during the week somewhere, but they lost one of their players, unfortunately, Corio, and I said Joel Bennett, I think, has now decided, well, I hope he's decided to stay out for the rest of the season, which would be good because they obviously showed last week they can win a game of footy without him. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But having said that now, I've just looked at their list. Joel Bennett is back in their side. And
you're kidding me.
No, well, he has been named, but I don't know, again, whether he'll run out there this afternoon or not. But they do take on Winchester, again, a club that hasn't had a great deal of luck with some injuries over the course of the year. I thought this was at Winchester, but it's actually at Corio. Grab, what are your thoughts on this game this afternoon?
Well, I thought it was at Winch too, and I was going to give Winch a real good chance because they always start well and they give everything they got at Winch. But at the Devil's Playground, that'll make it a little bit harder. Joel, Linda, if you're listening, he doesn't need to play. We need a Joel Bennett for next year and the year after, and it's just too dangerous. Jeez, it really annoys me. They're great people. He's a great player, and it's him, because I'll tell you what, I'll bet you if Darren had his chance, he'd say, no, don't play. And so would Linda, so would all out there. But, all right, if you're going to play, I know he'll get a few kicks, but Corio really will go out there buoyed today after an unbelievable win last week. Nobody expected them to win last week, even though they did win the game before that in round one. But look, they've got some good players coming through. I think they're playing a lot of their kids and they're going all right, and they've got a good blend. What's the bloke that come from up the bush?
Which one?
He's about 35 years old. He's one of the best players you'll see. Cowan's a terrific player. He keeps them in it. Jack Hall's a good kid. Look, they've got to keep going the way they're going, and I just think they're playing well enough to beat Winch. But as I say, you talk about all these other clubs having injuries. Winchell's been smashed by them, even to the fact their coach had to play. And when he did, until half time, he was best on the ground.
I think he copped a whack in the throat last week and I think he's out again for them at this stage as well.
Well, he obviously didn't think he'd have to play at the start of the year. But they've been smashed by injuries, and that's happened to them for a couple of years as well. They're a bit like West. And then their players they have to start again a few times. But look, I've watched Winch a few times, and they have a dip. Right? They really have a dip. And if you have a dip against Corio in the first half, you could be with them. But I just think Corio, buoyed by last week's win, will be too good from today at the Devil's Playground.
Might have been Hayden Burns that I read had broke his leg.
No, okay.
Oh, no.
Possibly, and I think, yeah. So anyway, that's not good news. But as I said, they have shown a bit, and they'd be happy with. I suppose their first thing would be happy that they've probably finished off Anaki's finals chapter. But again, to go out there, and I think it was something like 15-21 or 11-21 or something they kicked at goals last week. And obviously they need to straighten that part of their game up if they're going to be any chance here against Winchester. Your thoughts there, Arch?
Yeah, so remember when we went out and watched them at Winchester against North Geelong? They were in the game first, so North Geelong had a couple out, but were the best team in the league up to that point, if they're not still are. And Winchester were competitive for 3 quarters. I think the final margin, if you have a look at it, might have been 60 points, but we know, all being there, that it was a lot closer than that for three and a half quarters, or really 3 quarters, and then the last quarter, obviously, they blew it out of the water. But I thought it was at Winchester as well, but at the Devils playground, I'd probably have to go with Cryo as well after the momentum from the win they'll get last week. But yeah, no, I think Winchester got a lot of young kids, a lot of talent coming through. You know, you got Primar, Parrish. You have a look at some of like Zampi, for example, kick one of the best goals I've ever seen. Kirsten Cole on the wing. So there's a lot of, and as Grubb said, they've been smashed by injury. But hopefully they can keep their best team on the park for the rest of the season. If not, to win games, to get experience into those younger players, so they better for the years in the future.
Well, you should have been with us last week instead of swanning around England. Jack Yates kicked one from almost the centre of the ground.
Really?
Big torpedo barrel went over the
yeah.
top and went bang, bang, bang. Some idiot in the ground was going, no way, no way. What a great goal that was from Yatesy. But yeah, look, I'll go for Cryer too.
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure where this game's going to go, but as I said, when you look through their side, I'm not talking Cryo, I'm talking about the midfield of Winchester is probably as good when they're all up and running. Obviously, the reception of Finn Parrish being out of their side now, and he's taken on a bit of a more midfield role this year, but got injured and obviously out, and I think actually might even be overseas at the present time too. Archie, you might have crossed him in your car
probably.
when you saw him over there. But anyway, I think I will go Cryo, but only a very small margin. I think they can maybe hold them out if they play somewhere where they were last week, and obviously buoyed by what they can do, and now proven that they can win a game of football. That might help them for the next 3 or 4 weeks coming up.
I reckon I said in the season preview before the start of the season that anyone's going to struggle when they lose Jordan, Gould and Ellis out of their forward line to start the year. Almost irreplaceable. I know the boys down there are doing the best they can, but those two were great players, and at this stage they have proved irreplaceable.
Yes, and it's not going to obviously make any things easy, as I said, Grubb, but they've keep fronting up, and that's all they got to do, and hopefully out there this afternoon make it, hey?
Well, you reckon one day they're just not going to?
Well, no, they'll keep fronting up. They'll keep fronting up, but I'm just saying there comes a time when you get so far into a season and things start to fall right apart. You can either turn up and keep going at it, or you can just throw it away and just go through the motions of football. Let's hope that's not going to happen out there this afternoon. As I said, our game here this afternoon and our match for review is the Belmont Lions taking on Thompson. We've already mentioned the number of players that both sides have out of their side. As I said, I reckon that since the last time these two played, there'd be at least, we reckon, about 14 or 15 changes that have been made to both sides. Homegrown advantage, I always said Belmont Lions do play well, a far better side at home when they play at home. And as I said, I'll go back to what I said before, that the last 2 weeks, I thought Bannockburn, if they were going to beat Belmont Lions, could have done it at Bannockburn, and then North Geelong last week with their injuries they had last week coming up against North Geelong. I thought North Geelong would have been a shoe-in to beat them as well. But the Belmont Lions, they keep finding ways to win games of football. Was it a week before? Yeah. Yep, so that, yes it was, because we had North Geelong, Belpost Hill. So they've been able to manufacture ways to win games of football, and I can't see that falling apart this afternoon. So I think the Belmont Lions should win this game of football here at home.
They're a funny side, Belmont, aren't they? They play on the postage stamp every second week, and they get used to that ground, and they're very, very hard to beat. But I think the way Vermeulen and Walscott coach is, I think they're forming a plan to play on the big ground as well. They've gone from a postage stamp to the biggest ground in the area, and that's always very, very hard. But I reckon they're coaching so they can still play their game and play well. They did last year. They didn't win the flag, but they played a pretty good final series. And obviously got that under their belt. I think the biggest thing with them is they lose 3 or 4, 5 players. most sides haven't got 5 players in their reserves to come and cover them up. Belmont they seemed a little bit like Belpo still in their halcyon days. They've got blokes that can come up and fill a role and play reasonable football. And that means they're going to win a lot of games like they have. And look, I know they've got their better players, and I'll tell you what, and you're right, I just saw Sam Jones is out there in the seconds, and by gee, you get him fit with a two-pronged attack, that'll make him even more dangerous, because he's a ripping player, Sammy Jones, don't you worry about that. Thompson, on the other hand, they've been smashed by injuries. Like we already spoke about Saladin and those blokes and Troopy and that. But last year they got in and they had the cattle. This year, I don't know if they're going to have the cattle. They'll get in, but I don't know if they'll have the cattle to sort of do what they did last year. And here today, these are the grounds. You said before, Archie, what's the best way to play this ground? Big marking or running? Well, it's definitely marking.
Yeah.
Right, because sometimes there's not a lot of places to run. You get bailed up. But Troop on this ground would be very, very handy. Saladin at centre half, back controls everything. Freeman running around with his pace around the boundary. The players they got out are dangerous. I reckon they've got 2, maybe 3 players today that aren't 100% fit that they've gone in with, right? And well, I know there's 3. I'm not going to name them, but I know there's 3. So that's a bit of a worry too, especially if 2 of them get hurt early. All of a sudden you're down to 2 on the bench, and that's not a good thing to be in any football. So their injuries today might just stop them from being able to beat Belmont here at home on this little ground in front of the past players. I'm going to lean to the Lions. Or, because it's past players' day, I'm going to lean towards East Belmont. Well, it's past players'
Well,
day.
that's it. You got to throw in the bits and pieces that you get along the trip, along the journey, and that's one of them. So,
is that an East Belmont jumper or an early Belmont Lions one they're wearing?
No,
it is a Belmont Lions jumper, isn't it?
Yeah. Now I reckon they've had this for some time though. I can't remember what they would have had prior to that.
Oh.
I'm just trying to go back now. I can't remember. There's much difference, to be honest.
There's not much difference.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of difference.
So I just go through from the last time these two sides played, out of the Belmont Lions, Josh Wilson, Beasley, Harrison Thompson, Vermeulen's not playing, Corey Jarrett's not playing, David Allard, I didn't see his name in that list as well. So there's another one. Jake Wood's not playing. Slorak, who's they've recruited as a key defender, is not playing. Hoots was not playing their number 1 ruckman. Andy Wiley, who's a goal kicker, and Nick Sheriff.
Jeez, I might reverse my decision here. That's a lot of play.
That is a lot of play. That's what I'm saying, Grub. They've been able to cover them over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Not 9 of them, 8 of them.
Well, a lot of those players haven't been in, I don't reckon, over that last period of time. So they've been able to do that as I said, over the last month or so, with a large majority of those players. Now, they might be erring on the side of caution and giving these blokes extra weeks so that when they do come back, that they're not going to risk them to go through the same trouble and have the same injuries. But when doing so, they've been able to still win games of football, keep themselves on top of the ladder. They're going to have the luxury at some stage to obviously, I suppose, bring them back. And you've got to play them before you get into finals football. You can't let them go for the next 4 or 5 weeks. That's 8 weeks without playing footy for some of those blokes. So
no, you can't.
Hopefully they'll slowly start to return to their side, and that will only improve them as they go along.
So what you're saying is Belmont Lions are keeping these blokes out till they get right and fair income to go.
Yep.
And Thompson are probably playing blokes they shouldn't be playing, or may not should be playing.
Exactly right. Because you know what happens. As I said, you can get through training as much as you like. And I've said this ever since I've played the game of football, and I've been out of it for a long, long time now. You can go out there, you can go through the motions of football during the week and get yourself right. But the instinctive stuff that you do on a game day, the stop, the turn, the twist, the back, whatever, bang, things just happen. And as I said, that's when they get caught out. And again, you can take some money in, but we've seen in finals football where teams have taken blokes that aren't 100% in, and it's come apart for them. Again, this is not a grand final or a final series or a finals game, but the outcome probably to both sides doesn't matter. So I don't know why you would risk further endangering 3 or 4 more players for the sake of trying to win a game of football when I think if they left them out, they'd still be good enough to stay in the top 5. Because I said I already think the top 5 settled.
Yeah, well, one of them's a hand injury. I don't think once you've got something on it, I'm pretty sure that won't be it. And I might as well say the other one is Jacko's knee's been playing up for a while, and he doesn't play a lot of game time.
Yep.
I think he's limping towards his 300th.
Yep.
But if he can get himself fully fit, he'll also be a danger in the finals because you know what he can produce. Maybe not 4 quarters, but he can produce minutes of brilliance. And I just remember, I reckon one of the old East Belmont jumpers had a yellow insignia right in the middle of the jumper.
I'd actually like to remember. They probably got one hanging up in the club room somewhere, so, and an old photo. So when you're over there at half time, because they said, I don't think I'll make it over and back during the break today.
Well, that's what happens when you get old, though.
Oh, I'll tell you what, mate.
I mean,
I'm feeling it.
You'll have to sit in the box. I'll probably jump out the window, over the fence, and sprint over there just to show you that you're a lot older than I am.
Well, I hope they got an oxygen tank on the other far side of the ground because I reckon they'll be calling for one.
Right.
If not, the St John's ambulance.
Now, we had another segment today.
Yep.
I couldn't quite get the Belmont team of the Millennium up. We were let known a little bit late, so I had planned to do the Thompson one.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately,
Johnny Mitchell and the Thompson boys have changed their mind. They've got a past players coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good.
And it's against East. So I'm guessing, he's guessing we go there. We might not go there yet, but
I reckon there'd be a fair chance we should be.
not if it corresponds. It can't because East play Werribee, so it can't be that. So we will be doing. They prefer to do it on their own past players' day. So Alex, if you listen, I'm sorry, mate. We had it organised, but they've just about sort of. Oh, that's another. No, that's just their away jumper, isn't it? I don't know. It's not. It doesn't look like an old East Belmont jumper to me. Right, so that segment has been canned until...
It's more like an East Geelong jumper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, probably the most
hold on,
important...
Robbie, you going to ask for my tip?
Yeah, no, we do.
I
know you've got to go for Thompson.
We don't really care.
Yeah, I got Thompson by 2 goals.
Thompson by 3 goals?
Yeah, two.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, 2.
And the reason being?
I think
Who kicks their goals?
Because he barracks from. That's why.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And don't say Hennessy because he had a day out against Werribee, and anyone can kick 6 goals against Werribee.
In a half, and then put him forward. Oh no, I think
he's already
Charlie McFadden, Alexander Andersev, Ben Kamaric is starting to play better. Jacko McLeod might turn it back. I reckon
if he plays.
Ben Kamaric has been in some pretty good form. They tell me over recent weeks.
He's starting to turn into. He's moves a lot like Jacob Knight. I remember we said that early in the season when we watched him play, and he's like having another Knighter out there. So having him plant one of your favourites, Grub. He runs through, bit of a ball in the middle. Really, we got a lot of young kids with experience, probably under 5 games played. You look at McFadden, Lawrence. Anderson, he's played a bit this year, but...
Is your mate playing?
Maxi Della.
The bloke that you give votes to when he had 3 kicks and 2 handballs?
I reckon he had 9 kicks in the last quarter. So.
Yeah, in your mind.
Yeah, he is playing. He'll be up forward. He'll be kicking goals as well. I do agree with what you said, though, that it's like Thompson, I think, when they have their best team in, I think they're a bit too tall on a ground like this year, on a ground like St Albans. But a ground like this is perfect to have those big marking key forwards. It's so short from end to end. I think, how much do you look into the reserves, boys? We're talking about depth. I mean, look at the reserves there. The Belmont have more out than Thompson do, probably, if not pretty even. And Belmont are still looking decent in the reserves. And you look at Thompson there, how many players from that team would just see if there's another injury, could come up and play a role in the seniors?
Well, I
look at that and I don't know ever see too many.
That's why they're probably playing blokes who are injured may normally not play because they probably haven't got the depth in their reserves. And
that might be something that Belmont are putting their trust in and putting their trust in their players. And also, they're on top of the ladder. They don't have to win as bad as Thompson do. So anyway, I'm still going Thompson by 3 goals because I want to be different to you blokes.
Well, they'll keep doing that because Belmont. Look, I've got no idea of the seconds ladder, but I'm pretty sure that Belmont Lions seconds will play finals, and I don't think Thompson seconds will. So eventually they'll all stop training, and that probably helps too in coming to St Albans to have everybody training. But all right, you done?
Yeah.
Right, I've got another segment that we've got to bring up today, and it's probably the most important one of the day. It's a really, really sad occasion. because we've lost Jeff McClure. All right, now, for people who don't know Jeff McClure, that means you haven't been in the league and you don't know anything about the league because he's just been one of the greats. I reckon he played over 200 games with East. He went out to Corio and played a few there when they started up. And then I think it might have been about 76, I reckon. What happened then, he went out to Belpost Hill and became a founding member and a committeeman out at Belpost Hill and eventually the president out there. He was on the GDFNL executive for over 20 years, and according to President Neville Whitley, he was the one that kept everybody on an even keel, nice, quiet, but firm and hard at their meetings.
A bit like myself.
Fastidious paperwork, so nothing ever went wrong. He was one of the mainstays of the magnificent Buckley's Gaming Centre that we have, and also his main portfolio, of course, for over all those years, that he was the coordinator of the Interleague, a very, very hard job, and he's just done it so well. I've spoke to blokes like Sid Jones and Bissett and those blokes. They just adored him, the way he looked after him. He was just a fantastic man. That's like the public view. The private view is he's one of the best blokes I've ever met down in Geelong. Every time you saw him, he'd come up with a handshake and a smile. He was just a beautiful person. He did a magnificent job, whatever he did. And as part of the commentary, or from all of our commentary team, our condolences go out to Cynthia, who's also a beautiful, beautiful lady, and also for the whole of the McClure family. So, Jeff McClure, rest in peace, mate.
Well spoken, Grub. Well spoken there. So we might just take a very short break back to the studio because players are moving to where playing positions. So you're going to be listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Game is just about to start. Umpire with ball in hand, and we're underway. Middle of the ground. Ruckman about to go at it. Cammed up over the top. Ball comes down to Plant. Plant now gets himself out of the middle. A little bit of a slip there, so it might be wet inside. Goes forward. Smets out. Good hands. And he takes a mark inside forward 50. A first chance for the Thompson side to go back and kick a goal. And again, we've seen it in recent weeks. It's taken less than a minute for this to happen. So Billy Smets lines up, ball from about 50. We'll need to kick it every bit of. Heading back towards the city end. He'll kick it.
37 metres, that 50 is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stepped it out, steps inside, kicks that goal. Okay off the boot. Umpire says, yes, that is a great start. Billy Smets has got his first and Thompson's first, and 50 seconds on the board. And Buckley's Entertainment Centre, first quarter scoreboard.
Well, as you said, we've seen it in recent weeks, and straight out Plant, straight out Smets. He's going to be a danger down there. I tell you what, I've got the binoculars on him. He's got no covering on his hand whatsoever. Hasn't got a bandage, hasn't got plaster, hasn't got anything on it.
Well, they say when you cross the line, Grub, you're out there to play, and that's what you've got to do. So he's out there prepared to go at it, and he's done that straight away. So back in the middle, and it's Mayman doing the ruck work for the Belmont Lions. Again, names I'm not too familiar with. Again, Cam up over the top. Ball comes to ground. Picked up out there by Evans. Little right boot. Didn't travel too far. It's going to be picked up. Wasn't cleared outside there. And that was Murdoch coming through the middle. They worked the ball towards centre wing. Wilson's out there. Well, actually, Howard said he wasn't playing today because he wore number 1, I think, last time. Now he's in number 70, but he's out there playing. So that is good for the Belmont Lions side. Ball's been held up just on centre wing, far side of the ground. Umpire about to restart it, throws it up in the air again. Ruckman go at it, taken out by Mayman. Kick didn't travel that far, but Cam now has a go. His kick didn't travel much further. Ball still mucking around inside there. Wilson, there's no clean play through the middle. I think that's the...
Jose.
Was it?
Yep.
Yep, so he's got the ball. And Jose now on centre wing on the far side is going to put... Thompson back into attack once again. Longer kick going towards the pocket. Good kick. Boyd didn't have to change a stride there, and he has taken the mark in front of the club rooms here at the Belmont Lions. And again, a kick coming back into a little bit of breeze, so it might take a little bit.
It's only about 40 metres. It's a tough shot from that pocket.
Yep, so he's lining up. Going to have a deliberate shot at it by the looks of things. Steps in, kicks that goal. Ball's going to land in the goal square, up over the top. Ball comes out the back, and it has been kicked through by Travis Maguire. He's got his first goal and the second to Thompson. An ideal start for the away side. 3 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre scoreboard.
Man, that's a good start. The first one was just bang. The second one, they worked it really hard. Travis Maguire, I think, might have kicked 4 or 5 last week. So from a bloke that's played so many years and probably been the best fullback in the competition for a while, has gone up on the ball, and it looks like he spends a bit of time down forward now. As I say, I reckon he kicked 4 or 5 last week, and he started off well again today.
I was about to say he's not a notable goal kicker. Lucky I didn't.
Well,
he kicked 4 or 5. Yeah, he's not usually a notable goal kicker.
That's because he's never down there, mate.
Well, back in the middle now. Mayman over the top of Cam. Ball comes out in the path to Kamarich. He gets a kick now. Cam trying to pick up the ball. He can't quite. Rustling it under. Might get the free kick. He doesn't quite. Ball squirts out the side. Mayman, good hands now. They're going to go through Eddie. Eddie, left foot. Trying to go inside 50. Hobbs getting back. Gets crunched. Coming back the other way. Gets straight back up. Ball stays in. Here go Belmont. A great smother. While the captain, Sam Jacker, leading the way as always. Great effort from Jackson Hobbs. Only played a couple of senior games. Had to go back with the flight there and got absolutely crunched. So the ball's gone out of bounds and we'll have a throw in no more than 40 metres out.
He knew they were coming, but he didn't get out of the way. Good boy.
He might have been that. It was Evans.
Ball in now. Evans in the ruck for Belmont. He gets a quick kick away, although it was instantaneously tackled by back.
Solved the ball last week, Smithy.
Yeah, it could have been too.
Back up again here, 35 metres out from Belmont's goal. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Thompson. So Cam just going to handball wide now to Kamarich. Kamarich down that line near centre wing now. Ball punched away from Boyd. It was well defended on that occasion by Pelham. Belmont win the ball back. Thompson do have the numbers. If they can gather it, they do. And then it's a rush kick forward. So that's not the way you want to go. Coming back the other way was Mayman. So playing behind the ball when he's resting as ruck. He takes the mark near centre wing for Belmont. He's going to try and send them. Kick was smothered off the boot. Now here's a good opportunity for Thompson. Brandon Gardner couldn't gather the ball and it's been dispossessed and a couple of players jump on top of it. So we'll have a stoppage in the centre of the ground. Very exciting first quarter so far. Tell you what, Belmont wouldn't want to concede the first 3 goals as ball's back up now. Mayman missed the tap and then they do win the clearance now. Good tackle by Cam. He wraps him up and we'll have another stoppage.
See, Jarvis is back on the side, but he didn't start on the ground, has he?
No, that's what I was going to say.
So back up again here. Mayman, he's had a great start, Mayman. Come back the other way, wins the tap for him. Now, quick hands, going to go to Braden Garner. That was better that time. On the boot quickly now. Can he find Jacko McLeod? He can. He takes the mark.
Geez, you hate it when you see him fall over. You think he's going to get up.
You do, but he's taken it. Class is permanent, as they say, as he's going to send Thompson inside the forward 50. Is there a target there? Boyd coming over the top, but it was a great mark. Going back in defence. That was Lindsay, and he's going to go one wider now to the pocket. So Belmont just going to try and hold the tempo of this game up now. He's going to go down that line towards anything. Evans is going to fly. Big fist from Maguire, the last goal kicker now. They get the ball over the top. They've got the numbers here, Belmont. Can't quite. Coming back the other way is Plant. Oh, he's in and under as always, isn't he? Now they win the ball. There's Kamara. Look at that silky skill. He's going to go inside forward 50. Here's Smets. He's going to take the mark. He is. Umpire says play
That's
on.
a mark.
Can he get the hands off? He didn't see it. He was in the perfect position, and he didn't pay the mark.
Is that a mark, Tyler?
Thompson are going to have a stoppage no more than 25 metres out from their goal. We've had 6 minutes and 50 seconds played in this first quarter, brought to you by Buckley's Entertainment.
So ball 10 metres out from goal, ball thrown up again. This time Boyd did the ruck work, kicked off the ground, travels along the ground, so they need to win possession of the ball, the Lions, but they can't do so. Thompson in under the underneath. Ball comes out the back now, handball up over the top, runs back towards the boundary line. Joseph will see that ball over the boundary line, and with him is going to be Steele. So it'll be thrown back in. 25 around from goal. The young girl's telling him where she's going to throw the ball here. Straight toward the middle, she's saying. That's it. Good girl. I think the ruckman, they might push into position now. Thrown up by the umpire again. No ruckman can really get at the ball there. There's too many players in front of it. Picked up out there. Boyd tries to work his way through the contest. And unfortunately, he can't get out the other side. Umpire will call for it back. And the ball up this time will take place. Similar to position to where that throw-on took place before. Mayman and also Boyd doing the work. Ball comes from that contest. Runs back. Can't see who's diving on top of the ball again. The ball comes out the back. Kamaric was there, but he's laid a pretty good tackle. Little swift kick. Goes nicely through. Picked up out there. But that might have been Phillips. And so it was Johnson. He was tackled. And that was Gardner. Umpire, did he say that he had
holding the ball
disposal? Not too sure whether he even grabbed hold of it, took possession of it.
Well, I said holding the man, and I'll stick with holding the man.
Yeah,
and the free kick should be Belmont's.
So
he didn't even have the footy.
Gardner now, again, not a notable goal
Too
kicker.
close.
Oh, geez, I'll tell you what, he did come over it, but Brandon Gardner says, don't worry about that. He says, I'll put it through the middle. And Thompson have their third. And we have gone 8.5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, first quarter scoreboard. It is Thompson, 3 goals. Belmont yet to score.
Well, they're up and about. But obviously, looking at the flags, they have definitely got the win. There's no doubt about that here today.
Yeah, I'll do that anyway.
But I'd love to see that one again. I can't see how that was holding the ball unless he threw it out or something. But I thought he was tackled holding the man. I thought that was a terrible decision that cost him a goal. But that's the way it goes. Now Belmont have got to head down, bum up, and get themselves back into this quarter.
I think they got one back there because Smets might have taken the mark. And
No, apparently he didn't have first grab.
No,
We've had a look at it on the video.
Yeah, I reckon he was definitely touched too.
Didn't take first grab.
Mayman doing the ruck work. Cam also. Cam up over the top. Kamaric will run onto it. Tackling with him. There was Johnson. Ball comes out in that tackle. Again at ground level. They win in possession. The gain. Gardner outside. Ball goes quickly back from Cam into their forward line. They're putting pressure on. Smets clever over the top. Back towards the goal square. Belmont line. So this time we are going to just run it through and take some time with the ball.
Plant did it before. Kamaric had the ball easy there, and he almost went down. That's very heavy ground in the middle.
Yep,
very heavy.
3-1 now, Thompson. Belmont Lions, as we said, yet to score. The ball kicked in there from Michelle. Goes long, outside towards centre wing. Good coverage on the kick there. Again, it's now with a number of players sitting around it. And it's going to be held up with the umpire coming in and calling for it. So still attacking side of centre wing for the Thompson side. Ruckman this time. Mayman takes the ball out of the ruck contest. Hambles went outside to Evans. He's laying on the ground. Again, his opponent, maybe Zach Plant, could be on the ground with him. Ball comes out. The umpire said it's taken too long to come out, and it's been a holding the ball decision. And the free kick is going to go to Evans. So Jack Evans, defensive side of centre wing, called a play on now by the umpire. Goes out wide. Kick wasn't great.
Terrible.
And it's been intercepted. So Thompson now will turn things back the other way now. They run, carry the ball and kick back in towards their forward line. Evans going back. Mark not taken there. Ball gets out the back, kicked off the ground. Reckon that may have been Gardner to put the ball into the forward line, but a mark going back to Mitchell, and he's taken the mark inside their defensive 50. So options are going to be on the far side of the ground by the looks of things. Kick again wasn't great off the boot, and that's gone straight into the hands of Cam, and he's going to turn things around once again for Thompson. So they come back into their attacking forward 50. McLeod up. Ball gets out the back. Again, it's Lindsay that had the ball, handballed over the top, and it's gone out of bounds, and the throw will take place. So 11 minutes gone. First quarter, Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard 3-1. Thompson, Belmont Lions are yet to score.
So have a ball in. No more than 30 metres out because that 50's got to be at least just 40 metres. So ball back in now. Umpire's seen a free kick straight away. He's been red-hotted on it early and he's found one to the ruckman in Lucas Boyd. So maybe didn't have the ball holding. Did anyone see what happened?
No.
Well, very hot on the whistle today. So as long as they're consistent, it'll be all right.
Right,
Anyway,
don't worry about as long as they're consistent. Just get it right.
So for the fourth goal for Thompson from no more than 30 metres, Lucas Boyd. Kick looks pretty much dead straight. He's kicked it. What a start from the Thompson Tigers. They're 4-1. 25. 25.
I don't know what you were doing there, Raj.
25 to no score. Belmont in the first quarter, brought to you by Buckley's
Couple of
Entertainment.
things in that. The alley up. Couple of shocking kicks out of defence really put Thompson back in with a chance. And when the ball it was going to be a Belmont mark without any doubt, and somehow Boyd got a hand to it and put it to ground, which kept the ball alive. So there were just a couple of points there while they've got their fourth goal and looking good.
So back in the middle once again. Ball, Moment doing the ruck work again. Cam up over the top. Did down nicely. Kamarich over the top. He can't clear the ball. He's trying to reef it out of there. It's not coming out. His opponent there was Summers, and the umpire will call for it back. So you're right, Grub. It is a little bit slippery in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of glue. Ball now again. Cam over the top once again. Kamaric, little side kick, goes outside of Maguire. Maguire puts the ball back inside 50, runs free. I tell you what, it could be another opportunity here. It's going to be touched in the goal square. It hasn't gone through yet, and it's going to be worked towards the boundary line. Steele was tackled. Did he have an opportunity? Umpire said this time no, he didn't. And a ball up to take place pretty much towards the club rooms here. Again thrown up by the umpire. Boy doing the ruck work, comes out. Smets didn't take possession of it. It was not manhandled, but it's picked up again there by Steele. Left boot goes around the body. Outside and over and bounced on the full. Free kick is going to go to Thompson. And out there, it looks like Davis is going to be the recipient. It's waiting for the ball to come back. I think it's made its way through to the second oval. Here it comes. So Davis with the ball now. And outside, he's forward 50. So he plays on now. Kicks the ball again somewhere where it's dangerous. McLeod was up over the top at the back. Coming through, he tries to win possession once again. Tackled, brought to ground. Umpire said the ball has come out, but he'd already blown his whistle. And it's going to be taken back to the umpire. 15 metres out, directly in front of goal. So, again, another opportunity here from the contest. Maguire tries to run through, had the ball in the air, couldn't release it, and has been tackled and brought to ground to another ball up top of the goal square. Boyd's moving okay at the moment, Grubbs, so that's good.
He is, very well.
Yep, so again, this time he forces his opponent underneath the ball, and it's kicked round by Jose, but unfortunately not through for a major score. So it moves now Thompson to 4 goals too. Belmont Lions are yet to score. And we have gone nearly 15 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, first quarter scoreboard.
Wilson will take the kick out for Belmont now. He runs his full distance and goes as long as possible. He's got to get it down there. He goes to centre wing. McPherson was there. Kamarich coming back the other way. It was good courage, although Belmont do win the ball. They might send themselves inside 50 here. Evans gathers. Good handball. Here's McPherson. Trouble usually happens when he gets the ball. Handball quickly involved was Murdoch. Still retaining possession and just losing the ball out of his hands was Deister. So we'll have a ball in 50 metres out from Belmont's goal, but that was a lot better transition movement, and they go from one end to the other. Quick handball through the middle, and haven't seen much of McPherson early in this game as well.
Hasn't been down there enough, mate, I think.
He's going to come up a bit, I reckon. And
same with Brock Marnie.
Definitely is. Evans in the ruck at the moment. Handball was out by... It was Johnston, I think, got the handball out, and the ball ends up getting parried over the boundary line. So have the ball in close to centre wing. 15 and a half minutes gone here. Thompson all over Belmont early. Just waiting for the ball to come back, or nominating ruckman as Cam versus Mayman on this occasion. Ball gets down now. Brandon Gardner, great handball over the top. Comes to Antisev. He gets the ball forward to Smets. Can Smets get a handball out? He can. He couldn't find McLeod. Then overrunning the ball was Antisev. Ball comes back now. A couple of players involved. One of them's Russell, and the other one was Gardner. It was Maguire who got tackled, and there's going to be another stoppage. 75 metres out from Thompson's goal, and look back. Look out. Boyd's heading down, one out in the forward line. So as the ball gets smothered over the boundary line, does it? Yes, now it's over. So Antisev couldn't get the handball away. Just looks like Thompson are winning the ball around the stoppages here early, and
they're putting immense pressure in their tackling.
Yeah.
And that's making Belmont handball and kick poorly.
Cam Mayman. He gets it down to Kamaric. Kamaric couldn't quite. Good tackle coming back the other way, and we'll have another stoppage. And I don't think Belmont will mind this, trying to slow the game down, get some more stoppage play back. Although they picked out a free kick here, so Gardner goes quickly. Smets over the top. No, it was Boyd. Couldn't quite. Now it's a 1v4. Hennessy couldn't get to the ball. Coming over the top, Dalla's going to try and chase Eddie, and he couldn't quite, so they're just going to chip it around and try and get out a defensive 50 now. Here's Michelle. He's in the defensive 50 line for Belmont. Just going to go long down the line. They need to try and get the ball out of there. Set up well behind the ball was Thompson. Once again, Gardner. He's a great first quarter. He gets hands, gets the 1-2, back up and under, and then the ball ends up out of bounds. So, true centre wing, far side of the ground. 17 and a half minutes gone. Thompson 4-1, 25. Belmont no score.
So throwing to take place, centre wing. Clubroom side. Evans pushing himself up now to do the ruck work against Cam. Cam front possession was interfered with, so he's going to win possession of it. Looked for an runner coming past, nothing there, so he'll go back and now to kick the ball into their half-forward line once again, but reading the flight of the ball nicely out there was Lindsay, and he sneaks across and takes a marquee kick. Wasn't great. He's turned the ball straight over to Jose. So Jose is inside the centre square and can look at kicking a goal. Billy Smith was short. He's got Boyd short. Now he decides to go longer. There's no player back in the goal square bar McNamara, and he is going to take the mark uncontested there. Too sure he should have made it maybe for a little bit longer. Although another metre or two and he might have been able to kick the goal. McNamara now plays on again, goes back to the clubroom side, outside towards Evans. Ball gets out the back and they turn the ball back over again. Inside 50 once more. Mark not taken at ground level, picked up. Ball was kicked there by Della and was smothered. Ball sitting at the ground now, and Della went back and tried to collect it and pluck it out of there. He was tackled, and umpire will call for it back.
One of our favourite listeners, Paints, has been listening, and he believes that the Belmont jumper that the Seconds wore is the old Belmont jumper.
Could be, actually. So it's again, it's thrown back up again. Ball from that ruck contest. Again, won't clear the contest. Umpire calling for it quickly once again. Again, the ruck contest. Thought there might have been a free kick there, but it's picked up by Marnie. Got himself and kicks the ball outside centre. Goes towards the centre of the ground. Again, players converge really quickly out there. The umpire, no choice but to call for it back.
Smithy, a little bit of perceived pressure. The times we've watched Belmont, they don't fumble, but they've fumbled a lot, expecting the pressure to come, I reckon. Because Thompson have put a lot of pressure on them.
They have it so far in the game, Grub, so that might be something they've worked on. Ball from that contest again comes out. There's a free kick being awarded once again. Wow. Goes in the hands of Jose. This time he straightens up from inside 50, and he has got his first goal of the afternoon. And the fifth now for the Thompson side. They're 5-2. Belmont Lions are yet to trouble the scoreboard. They've gone 20 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
We won't be getting any complaints from Johnny Mitchell. 3 goals from free kicks here, but that was an advantage one. But they're leaving blokes outside the pack. They're all in that situation. 3 or 4 Belmont blokes rushed into the pack, and Dylan Joe stayed away from the pack. Even though there was a free kick paid, he was right there where the ball came out, got the advantage and kicked a lovely goal. And look, they've got the win, and I don't think it's a 5-goal win, and that's about what they've kicked, so they're doing pretty well, the Tommy Tigers.
Back in the middle now. Cam over the top in the ruck was Evans for the time. They're going to go forward here first. Real look inside 50 for Belmont. They're trying to gather the ball there. Involved was Brockett. Ball gets out of his path. And there's going to be a stoppage 15 metres out from the Belmont goal. So need to get a repeat stoppages here. Back up now Ball plant in and under as always. Gets a quick kick out. Evans is there and does take the mark.
I reckon they've only had 3 inside 50s.
Yep.
This is going to be their best look at it. We'll be looking for number 58, Ben Evans, no doubt. Goes down that line, a big fist over the top by Mowat. That's safely handled by the Thompson Tigers defence. So
That was really just a nothing kick it in there, wasn't it? There was no blokes leading. There was just kick it, and let's hope one of our blokes can mark it.
This ball going to have a ball in now, 25 metres out from the Belmont goal. Need a goal late in this first quarter as the quick kick out. Now here's an opportunity. It might come to Eddie. He can gather the ball. Snap back kick.
Missed it.
Hits the post. Did everything right. Gathered the ball at a quick first step. Just missed. So that's the first score for Belmont today. One solitary behind to Thompson, 5-2-32. The Buckley's ended up first scoreboard as we're going to go quickly out to centre wing. Great mark taken over the top. Might have been Maguire. It is. So now Jose is going to go quickly up. Plays streaming inside 450. If Boyd can gather this, he's got Smets all alone. If he can swing back on, he can find Smets. He's going to go back to Jose. Jose can't gather the mark, then drags it in. He's going to get that out. He's going to be pinged. Umpire says, no prior opportunity, although he was waiting. Usually when they wait those extra couple of seconds, you think they're going to pin him. So they're going to have a stoppage here. Probably had the rub of the green with this umpire in the first quarter, Thompson, but 35 metres out, ball comes out to Michelle. He just goes as far as possible, and Sammy Jacker, as he always does, gets the ball. So here's Jacker. He's going to go inside forward 50 again. Who's going to fly? Boyd might. Gets pushed in the back. Umpire says play on, but no, it was taken. Good mark in the end by McNamara. So he's just got to settle down here for Belmont. He plays on. Goes very, very wide and kicks it onto the second oval down the bottom. So Thompson, the pressure has just been immense in this first quarter. I reckon Braden Garner would have had over 10 touches. He's been absolutely everywhere. He's going to go inside the forward 50. Maguire might fly over the top here. Oh, he does. Plant gets the rope, tries to go down, gets wrapped up straight away, and Maguire nearly was you missed that grub, but gee, the big man nearly flew there.
With a pie. Not Routledge.
They nearly did. He took that. Would have been one of the best marks of all time. As the ball comes back down. Gardner in there again. He's been absolutely everywhere. He gets out of Jones. Can they keep the ball in there, deep in that pocket? It's very hard to get the ball out of that pocket once it gets in there, and it's going to go out of bounds. So I'll have a ball in here, 30 metres out from Thompson's goal, looking for their 6th goal in the first quarter, with not too much breeze as well. Undermanned Thompson team. What a statement would it be if they can knock off the top of the table Belmont Lions. So the ball comes back down now. Maguire involved at a high tackle. Umpire says no. So we'll have a stoppage 35 metres out. So 5-2-32 to one solitary behind Belmont. 24 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter, brought to you by Buckets Entertainment.
So the ball now thrown up against again. Ball from that contest comes out, and again Anderson picked up over Kamaric. Gives the handball out to Della. Della back to the goal square. Smash in front. Mark not taken. Ball comes to ground. Belmont just a little bit of cover there. I thought he was going to pig.
Nah, the rule's not in the league.
That's all right. Thank God for that. So
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I've told you before,
rush
these
behind.
umpires may pay it one day, and if they do, watch out.
5 goals, 3 now. The Thompson side, 1 behind Belmont. Ball comes out quickly, gets towards centre wing. Ball now ground level, going after it hard. There was McFadden, couldn't pick the ball up, and it turns over now. Belmont Lions get the ball out, go looking towards Evans. It stays in. No, it doesn't. Ball goes over the boundary line and will be thrown back in now. So they've progressed the ball down to their half-forward line. Again, just a change of colour in their jumpers makes it a little bit hard sometimes to pick them up. The ball being thrown back in. For Cam to the front of the ruck contest. Ground level, picked up, kicked around the body there by Wilson. Into their forward line. Here's an opportunity. Mark has been taken. And about 35 out from goal. So the Belmont Lions with a real opportunity here to go back and score their first. Stapleton has been a goal kicker for them during the course of the season. So Stapleton now approaches in. As I said, kick only has to be an accurate one. That looks pretty good off the boot, and it is. It is straight through the middle. Their first of the afternoon. They are 1-1, Belmont Lions. They trail Thompson on 5-3. 26 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
We just said before they only had 3 or 4 inside 50, so they to say they badly needed a goal there was an absolute understatement. But it was a beautiful lead. He left the defence behind and a good kick. And look, 1 goal against it's pretty good, but Thompson. They've put the pressure right on them, but that goal will help Belmont. They'll just get him steady him a little bit, and it'll help them. How long are we gone, Arch?
Nearly 26, 27 minutes.
I've got a funny feeling they might be a bit compassionate and give 41 minutes to Thompson this week.
I reckon. So back in the middle now. Ball gets down, tapped smartly into Kamara's path. He tries to get through one, then the quick handball out. Involved as well there was back. He tried to get the ball out to Russell and then goes after the ball again himself. In and under is Russell, and there's going to be a stoppage. So near the centre of the ground, we'll have a ball up here, and the umpire has stopped play here.
Someone down behind play.
Down, although
ball it up. No, he's put it on the ground. They're waiting for the injured player.
But I didn't think you have to wait. I thought it was a blood rule and concussion. I didn't think anything else.
What the actual... I don't know if it's the actual rule, but what they've been playing is if it's in the vicinity of the play, which it is, they will stop. If it was back down in the forward line, you continue on. But this is only, 20 metres, 20, if that, from where the incident happened.
Gotcha.
So they will stop the play in case she gets bowled over while she's on the ground. That's fair enough too. I understand that.
Eh? And he's coming through it to get off.
Yeah.
We see which player that is.
And all the assistant coaches.
Yeah. Wonder why.
Keep them involved.
Well, he's a big out too, Lynch. He's been playing really, really good football. I forgot about him at the start of the game when we were talking about their injuries.
Nick Lynch.
Yeah.
Thompson. Yeah, I think it was late. He was meant to come back in or something. Did you play? Has he been playing? I think he might have got laid out this week.
Yeah, I think it's 21 days concussion.
Gotcha. So we wish that Belmont player the best of luck. Hope everything's all right there. And so Cam wins the tap out now. Players resumed. Umpire has picked out a free kick, and fair enough as well. It's going the way of Wilson. He's got to get going if he wants Belmont to back into this game. Running force he provides from the back line. Oh, he gets confused here. Russell's going to run him down, I reckon. And then he handballs it. He had nowhere to go. Smets gets the pressure now. Andersev to Russell. Can he gather the ball? He can. High tackle. Yes, it's going to be paid. So he's going to be quick here. He's got Hannessy running back to goal and Boyd. Is he going to go to either of those? He's also got Smets on short if he wants him. Russell goes in the path.
It's a bad kick.
Yeah, he went in between Boyd and Smets. He could have gone long to Hannessy. He went in between all 3 options and the ball's going out of bounds. So it's not a terrible result for Thompson, but if Russell could have his time again, he'd probably choose another option. So ball in 30 metres out from Thompson's goal. There is 30 minutes gone already in this first quarter, brought to you by Buckley's Entertainment. So in the ruck, it's going to be Boyd and Mayman. Down now. It was Allen who won the ball, and they've got to go now. Now Wilson kicks this occasion. Back, wins the ball. Not going to be long to go, so he wouldn't fluff around too much. Goes down that line. Jacko McLeod might fly here. He does. Off hands, though. Good tackle from, how does he know it wasn't? He slipped him high.
I'll tell you what, he's calling out Jacko for the trader here, Belmont. He put his knee right in his back quite fairly. As he went for the mark, but straight away, Jacko McLeod put his hand up to Belmont and said, "Get out of here." So he knows he's got him a good one. He's hurt him.
Taking the wind out of the sails. We've got a bit of kidney there.
Yeah.
Is that ribs or?
Might be middle of the back or lower back.
Yeah.
But I'd say lower back because at Jacko's age, I'm not quite sure if he can get up that high.
In the old days, it would have been right at the top.
Yeah. on the head.
I thought he was going to fly that time. He's still got a couple left in him, I reckon. So Belmont already had one player taken off, injured, and this could be another one here. that might not come back on. And
This
early
might-
in the game, we spoke about this, didn't we, Grub? That like with Thompson, the risk of taking injured players in. Belmont haven't, but they're going to be 2 players down early.
Well, yeah, I thought they might be looking at a stretcher, but I think they'll get him up and walk him off. You know, it could be a stinger. He might come good. If you get one in the back, it hurts for a while, but it doesn't mean he'll be off for the rest of the game. The bloke with the leg in the middle didn't look too good.
Did we see who that was?
No. But I reckon he might be that back walking the boundary as well.
Yeah, is it? Oh. So we'll probably have an extra long quarter here, as we do like to have with our Belmont and Thompson matches.
Could have been Guinea White, the first bloke.
Look, I think he's a chance to be all right, this kid. I think once they put a bit of decker rub on, which you
And
shouldn't
that's
do.
Mayman, which is their ruckman. So
Yeah.
anyway, ball down now. This Jacker, big fist over the top. Kind of Kamaric. He had his kick smothered. Monk trying to go. And then running out of nowhere was Dalla. Couldn't quite get the Belmont player. Davis in defence, solid as always. Then to Josh Cam, who just kind of throws it on the boot. It might work out, though. Dalla through the middle. That was beautiful. Hands over the top. It did get smothered in the end, though. So now Eddie, handball out wide. Guard. Oh, it was really well done by Marnie. He had to arch his back and take the game on, and he did. He found Michelle out on the outer side. Here's an opportunity for Belmont as they go inside the forward 50. The kick is ill-directed. And Kamaric takes the mark easily. So after all that hard work, they're going to out wide now to McLeod, who takes a beautiful mark overhead. It's very textbook the way that Jacker McLeod plays his football. He's going to look like to send Thompson inside that forward 50. Dalla is there. Over the top, nearly taking the mark was Phillips, and the ball hits the deck now. Here's an opportunity for Michelle. He gets tackled straight away. They're going to go send the ball inside the corridor. They can gather it to Thompson. Antisev, and then McLeod, and then an up and under kick. They do have the numbers back here, though, and pushed as he kicked it. How does the umpire see that? He says throw the ball in, so maybe a bit fortunate on that occasion. Phillips was... Oh, no.
And over the fence.
Oh, so I reckon Boyd gave him a little shove there, and he ended up going over the fence, which I was interested the free kick wasn't paid. So it's not good at all. Can you see a number, Tyler?
He's all right.
Should be right.
He'll be right.
54, it's Phillips. So we've had 34 minutes gone in this quarter, although we did have 2 players take off the ground. So the ball's back in now, 50 metres out from Thompson's goal. Cam and Evans. Cam gets the ball down now, quick kick forward. Going back is Phillips and takes a nice mark in defence. Umpire says... No, he's
Gotta go behind his mark.
He's going to pay the mark. So now he's just going to go to centre wing. Down that line, over the top was Davis. He couldn't quite go with the ball. He's McPherson. He goes quickly in the middle of the ground. He's going to be careful of Hannessy, although the umpire's going to call the ball on it. It's coming all the way back to Cam. So they're going to want to go quickly here. There won't be long to go in this quarter. McLeod wants it long. They're going to go on the path of Jacko McLeod. He might turn and fly at this. Over the top, he nearly got a hand to it. Now at ground level, Dalla's there. Boyd's there. Handball back. Snap from the pocket. They couldn't from there. Oh, just misses. To the near side was Trav Maguire. He kicked a goal in the first quarter, and the last couple of weeks seems to be a goal kicker as they go quickly. Big fist over the top from Jacker, and the ball is going to head out of bounds. As we're going to end the first quarter. So 117 to 5-3-33. 35 minutes gone in that first quarter, brought to you by Buckley's Entertainment.
Yes, goal kickers for the home side. Belmont Stapleton has that sole goal. And for the Thompson side, Maguire, Boyd, Smets, Jose and Gardner all with one each. We'll take a short break, come back. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Yes, and welcome back this afternoon. We are here at the Belmont Lions, who are at the moment trailing Thompson 5-4 to the Belmont Lions 1-1. Other games around the leagues, we've got Corio 1-3 trailing Winchester 4-2. And the Giants are 2-4, currently lead Anarchy on one solitary behind. The other three games we said are to be played next week in this split round. Grab your thoughts on that first quarter.
Well, Thompson come to play, didn't they? They won the toss. They kicked with quite a nice breeze, actually. What was the score? How many they kicked?
5-4 they've kicked.
5-4. And I just thought maybe they could have kicked a couple more and really put them to the task. But, is it a 5-goal win? Well, we might find out in this quarter. But they put the pressure on. And in the end, Belmont Lions were trying to dodge around blokes and losing the ball and fumbling, and I've never seen them do that. So the coach has got a big task in there now, is to say, you've now got the win. You have to put the same pressure on Thompson as they put on you and make him fumble and make him maybe have a little look behind him, because Thompson were hard at it. A couple of times down there I mentioned Boyd. He got a hand on one of them. He fronted on and used his strength and bowled a couple over to open the play. Unfortunately, it finished in a behind, but he's doing a lot of strength work down there and looking really, really strong. I reckon McLeod's looking dangerous. He only played 10 minutes against Werribee the other week, and he played a full quarter and played pretty well this quarter. As I say, Maguire, he's always dangerous. I don't think he starts in the forward line, but he sneaks his way down there, and no one goes down with him. So you've really got to watch where he goes, because even though he's a full-back, he knows how to play football, which means he knows how to kick goals. Although Josh Cam was okay in the ruck. Jose had a bit of the ball. He could have maybe kicked a couple of goals. The bloke that impressed me coming out of the centre was Kamerick. He's a really, really good player. He had quite a few touches. You would reckon there was probably about 30-odd inside 50s to about 4, which means, wind or no wind, you've got to do a little bit better than that. And they just looked a little bit rattled right from the start because Thompson put the pressure on them. They didn't have a lot of players that dominated the quarter or played a full quarter. Stapleton kicked a nice goal. Murdoch was in it. Mayman started off well in the ruck, but he came off injured. And Josh Wilson a little bit early too. So they've got to get their good players up and running. They've got a chance now with the wind. Can't see many of the past players there. They might all be inside. But what they need to do now is to do exactly what Thompson did and get some quick early goals.
Jarvis has just run across the ground as well with his backpack and just run to the room, so he'll be ready to go for the next quarter as well.
So he hasn't been. He's been working.
So he would have been working, yeah.
Righto, there's the mysterious answer to that. What a mystery.
We didn't know what happened.
So they've played one man short for that quarter. They've played with 21.
There's nothing against that. He's allowed to start next quarter, no worries. There's nothing against.
No. There's no time.
No, he's got to stay off.
It's not like cricket where you're off with the amount of overs.
He's got to stay off. No, he's got to stay off till there's been 4 overs bowled. He's
obviously been at work and just left work, and there's, I'm pretty sure, as I said, that it looked like him running across the ground. But
that had me bugging. I'm thinking, why would you pick a ruckman who's possibly the best ruckman in the league and sit him on the bench when you could use him, have Cam down there with Boyd and McLeod and have a potent forward line? And that's the reason, because he wasn't here.
And Smithy and Grubby, our producer, not too much gets past him. Tyler, he's just told us the wind has switched. So you look at the flags now, they're more going down to the end that Thompson are kicking at, so they might get lucky and kick with a breeze 2 quarters in a row.
Tyler's getting ahead of himself. Don't worry about that. Full of rubbish.
You don't go to the weatherman, Brad. He's the weatherman.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Brad?
It's easy to judge with Brad. Let's just see which way the wind blows him off his perch down there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. As I said, they need to start well in this second quarter, the Belmont Lions. Looks like Big Evans has gone in there. Benny Evans has gone in to do some ruck work.
The other big fella's gone, hasn't he?
Yes, he's gone.
Jack?
He's way up country somewhere.
Yeah. Tell you what, with Hootsma down and Mayman in the ruck, he'd have been a pretty bloody handy here today.
Oh, real handy, I reckon. They reckon that he would be straight in there. As I said, was a big body bloke, and he worked himself pretty hard in there. So second quarter is just about to start. Umpire with ball in hand. As we said, it's going to be Cam doing the ruck work until obviously Jarvis gets himself ready, but the ball is thrown up. Ball comes out. That was nicely done. Kamaric to the middle, goes straight into their forward line. Kick wasn't that great. It's picked up out there by Lindsay. Drives the ball back towards centre wing. Leading the race for the ball out there is Johnson. Picks it up, steps back inside. Went looking for his teammate there, and Wilson had it but left it behind. And Maguire now goes after it into the hands of Jacker. Again, they've got options out the back all the time. Come back into the middle of the ground. Goes towards Plant. Put him under pressure. Tackled high. Umpire said yes, that was the case. And free kick will go to Zach Plant. So defensive side of the centre circle. And he is now looking to drive Thompson into their forward half once again. Ball in there, but again going back with the flight is Evans. They've taken him out of the full forward position today, so getting someone with a bit of size back into the middle of the contest. Well, Mayman's off. Oh, that's a great mark out there, and that was taken by McPherson. So he goes and looks into their forward line. Short kick going forward. Teammate turned late, didn't take the mark. Ball now sits at the ground level. Again, it looks like Evans once again working hard at ground level. The ball has been picked up out there and cleared by back. Goes back towards this centre wing. Della's there. Teammate sits over or sits outside the contest. Stole it out of his hands, and that was Cam. But unfortunately, the umpire had called for it back. And a ball up will take place.
I hope he hasn't been around arresting any of your mates, Smithy.
No, I haven't got many mates, Grubs. I'm pretty safe. Ball now from that run contest, picked up. Kamaric, little bit of pace, couldn't get through the outside of the contest, was taken in a tackle again. This time Eddie, right boot, goes back towards Evans once again. He takes the ball, handball out the back was nice. Marnie now on the left boot, that's a better delivery. McPherson comes out, dropped the sitter, and turns, kicks back into the forward line. Mark will be taking it there. Wilson can go back. Good side for a left footer, and he is going to go back and look at Belmont's first goal of the second quarter.
That was too easy. Dropped
to get them up and running.
I reckon Rundle needs arrested.
So Josh Wilson to come in, runs his little arc on the left boot, kicks long towards goal. Umpire says that is a nice finish. He's got his first and the Lions have their second. They moved to 2-1. They trailed Thompson on 5-4. And 2 minutes gone, Elders Insurance second quarter.
Well, that's exactly what we said they needed. A quick goal early in the first couple of minutes of the quarter. And they worked hard for it. A couple of nice little kicks, a little spilt mark, but they got it back on track. And I'll tell you now, another couple early, and we're right back in. Is that Sammy Jones just down there?
Yep.
Come on, Sammy! He looks like he is back. So that's and I'm being a little bit out of that, but I tell you what.
So back in the middle now. Cam does win the tap, but Belmont are going to win the clearance this time again through Summers. Summers, the up and under kick in the path of Deister, and McPherson, the ball beats them all. So
is this our boy here?
Yep, is Jarvis doing a little warm up on the boundary line. So.
Well, he must have been at work, because looking at his legs, he hasn't been down the beach. I can tell you that now.
So 50 metres out from goal for Belmont. They're looking for their first back-to-back goals here, as the ball is going to beat all comers and go out of bounds again. Do you actually know how have they measured this 50, Grub? Do you know how?
I reckon
how big
I
it is?
stepped it out. I kicked a goal. from right on the 50, and I stepped it out. I reckon I stepped it out about 37, 38.
Right. So this is where the ball is now. Is about 50 metres. The ball's back in now. Cam trying to win the ball from Evans, then in and under. Oh, and that was beautifully done. Out now is an opportunity for Michelle. He gets the ball. Evans up and under, spins, turns. Oh, what a smother from Mallard. That was amazing. Ball back now, turns. And they're going to have a stoppage inside the forward 50, 35 metres out from Belmont's goal. How good was Dan Mallett there across the body? It was nearly a certain goal. It's the 1%ers in football. The ball's back in now. Cam, tap into the path of Gardner. Gardner up and under, pushed under the ball was Dalla. He's going to be stronger on that occasion. Now Belmont inside forward 50. What a lace out. Beautiful kick. And finds Brockett on the lead, so he'll have a set shot from no more than 25, 30 metres out directly in front and should kick Belmont's second goal in a row.
Well, I'm going to have to take you to task, Archie, because I don't think Della could have been any stronger. You can be stronger if they use their body, but he used his hands, and there's nothing he could have done about it. But they allow that these days.
So Brockett now, wasn't the most conventional set shot routine, but it's up and under, and it's right through the middle. He kicks his first, and Belmont kicked their second. 2-1, or is it a third?
Third.
Yep, third. So 3-1-19 to 5-3-33. with 5.5 minutes gone in this second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
Well, you got 3-1-19 wrong, right, so I guess your phone's working again, but that's what Belmont need to do. I don't know who said the wind's changed, but I tell you what, they've kicked two in before the 10-minute mark, and they're coming.
So ball back in the middle, as we said once again. Evans now swap rolls. It's Jack doing the ruck work in there this time. Ball comes out though, picked up. Kick was smothered out there, and unfortunately, they're going to win possession again.
In the back.
I think he took the proverbial dive there.
I think he got the hands there to do it though.
Okay, I didn't quite see it that way, but it looked like he took a bit of a leap
forward.
He
made it look good.
Yeah, definitely took advantage of it. Ball from the ruck contest, and Jarvis is out there on the ground now. Umpire circles, and it says the ball's not coming out. So let's have it back. Another ball up will take place, and not too far from the last one. We've moved about 20 metres from the centre circle towards centre wing, far side of the ground. From that contest, again, Belmont with some numbers out there. They looked like they were going to win possession, but a Kamarich that runs onto it, tried to get the handball away. Might have been taken a little bit high out there. Umpire's allowed play to continue. Now there's a free kick being given this time. That's for a throw. And the ball's going to come back, and the umpire says it's going to go to Eddie. Oh, he didn't have the awareness from behind there. Good work there. Billy Smets coming out from behind, takes the free kick now, decides to run, chips back inside, went looking for Jose. Kick again wasn't great, but Jose made it okay. His kick goes into the forward line, Boyd in front.
Always going to mark that.
Get a run at that. That's exactly right, Grub. You're not going to get over the top of him. A big reach there, and he has taken a mark about 20 metres out from goal, almost directly in front. Lucas Boyd has one for the afternoon so far.
And plus the kick from Jose was just enough out in front to give the bloke behind Boyd absolutely no chance of stopping that. That's a really good kick from a pretty experienced player too, I might add, in Dylan Jose from Lara.
So Boyd a chance to answer here very quickly. Chips at the ball, and he has done that very well. He's got his second of the afternoon. The 6 now for Thompson. They move to 6 goals 4. They lead the Belmont Lions 3-1. Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
He's a very dangerous player, Boyd, because he uses his body beautifully. He's got a good pair of hands, and as we saw, he's got a good kick on him. But, you know, 4 marks, as I said a minute ago, to Dylan Jose, because he put that ball in a spot where Boyd could do pretty much nothing but mark it, but he still had to go back and kick the goal. I watched him run down. He doesn't look like he's been hampered by any calf injury at all to me at this point in time.
Back in the middle now. It's going to be Jarvis versus... It was Evans on that occasion. The umpire says advantage play on. He's picked a free kick of someone out in the path of McPherson. Ball gets over the top now. Josh Cam trying to run and gather the ball. Gets out of his reach, and then Sam Jack is happy to see the ball over the boundary line. So we'll have a stoppage 50 metres out from the Belmont attacking goal. Just waiting to see if those 2 injured players, see if there's any movement on the bench from them. We'll let you know if we see something. Otherwise, there'll be 2 down for the rest of the game as the ball is back in now. Evans trying to get the ball out the back. Now a quick kick from Kamarich into the middle of the ground. Boyd was there. It gets over the top. Here's Josh. Here's dangerous. Geordie Cam. One out inside the forward 50. Can he gather the ball? It's a 1-on-1. Geordie Cam gathers. Kick. Is it going to fly through? No, it's marked just on the one. Umpire says it hasn't gone 15, so play on. Jacob Steele was happy to see the ball over the goal line. So it's going to be a rush behind for Belmont. For Thompson. 3-1-19 to 6-5-41 with 9 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Ball comes back in now and from centre wing. I reckon that might be Mayman. Come back on the ground. His kick wasn't great, but he is back out there. Ball goes towards the boundary line. Mowat will come across and see it over, and we will have a ball in. Good side of the ground this time, right in front of where we sit. So we've got a good look at it from here. We said Jarvis in there doing the ruck work with Mayman back on the ground. Evans boys now return to their respective positions, centre and full forward. Ball, ruck contest comes out. And a hands and knees. Kamarich tried to feed it through the contest. Maguire also tried to kick off the ground. Murdoch over the top of it. He is sitting over it. Umpire said no chance of the ball coming out. So let's take it back and he will ball it up.
You've got to show the experience of Lynch. He didn't throw Jarvis straight in, warmed him up and make sure he was right to go on.
So the ball now from that ruck contest. Jarvis just taps it down again. They try to win through the middle of the ground. Umpire again. Plenty of time for the player to get it out, but it wasn't to be. Umpire has come back in and called for it once again. Zach Plant gets himself off the ground. So again, both ruckman. Jarvis just reaches up over the top, went to Evans. He was tackled. Again, it sits underneath. We're going to have a repeat of what we've just had.
Well, what's the stone in this area, Smitty, for you?
That's a good thing. About this side of the ground to be tough. Zach Plant probably was tackled without the ball, picked up there. Brock Marnie now, little right, left foot kick into the forward line. Mark not taken. Davis on hands and knees. He's tackled. Umpire said again, no prior opportunity there. So another ball up will take place. Ticking towards 11 minutes in this second quarter. Zelda Insurance scoreboard is Belmont Lions 3-1, Thompson 6-5.
So back up now, Jarvis, and then Evans gets the tap into space now, running back and trying to defend. Is back for Thompson. He lays the tackle, and the ball's not coming out of there, so he'll have a stoppage 35 metres out from Belmont's goal. So Belmont pushing in this second quarter. You can hear Paul Lynch is yelling out contested football, contested football. He reckons that's how they're going to win this game. So quick kick out now into the path of Della. He's got he taps on, very smartly done by Maxi Della. And then a tackle laid by Boyd. He wins the ball. That was really well done by Boyd. Into the path of Cam. He beats his player to the ball. He might get it over the top to Maxi Della. He handballs it to himself and then kicks it back in line. Oh, the umpire said that he dropped the ball.
It was really touch and go, that. It was really touch and go. He sort of half tackled him, and I thought he might have got away with that.
I thought he handballed it.
Well, no, he definitely let it go, but I wasn't quite sure the tackle was being applied at the time, but it must have been. Umpire was close, so that's fair enough.
It's good defence in the
A little
end,
bit unlucky.
Geordie Cam's so athletic for the size he is as well, so you've got to be careful on him when he rests up forward. He even play forward now. Jarvis is back on the ground, but here go Thompson inside forward 50 again. It's into the path and coming back the other way. A beautiful mark taken by Steele.
Gee, he read that well. He come across from 15 metres away.
So they're going to go wider now to Lindsay. Lindsay, short kick over the top. Murdoch, and then he goes to Michelle. So Michelle, this is good ball movement from Belmont, probably the best we've seen from them today. Into the path, going back with a flight is Deister. He now gathers the ball, short kick to McPherson, and he takes the mark.
Gee, he's got a funny-looking kick, this bloke, an awkward-looking kick.
Deister.
But the few kicks that he has had have gone to where they've got to go to. It's quite funny to look at, but they go where he wants them to go.
It looks like he's kicking on his opposite every time.
Yeah, it's like the cricketer that bowls off the back foot. It's just a strange action. But as I said, the goal he kicked, a couple of to field kicking's been pretty good. It goes where he wants him to go.
It's in the right hands anyway.
So Benny McPherson to kick Belmont's fourth goal. No more than 30 metres directly in front. He didn't kick it
Still a
well,
goal.
but there was no.
Nah.
Oh, well done from Dan Mallard on the line. It's a second defensive effort that Dan Mallett's had that saved a goal, and you're not gonna get a stat for that, but it's very well done. So now it was a minor score, so we'll go back out now to back. Jacka kicked out for Thompson, so they're just hugged up in this back pocket here. Going to go towards centre wing. Bench side, so, Smets, look at that, just roams through traffic, hits Boyd, lace out, he takes the mark. Is he going to go quickly to Cam? He doesn't. He's got Hannessy running inside 50. Also, Jose. Is he going to get to Jose? Well defended. Jose made a contest out of the ball, and now he lays the tackle, and there might be a stoppage. There is. So, stoppage 35 metres out from Thompson's goal, end-to-end stuff there, and great work from Billy Smets. 13 and a half minutes gone, 3-1-19 to 6-4-40 on the Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
So the ball now from that ruck contest. Again, players converge on it, but again, it's not coming out. Umpire with no other option here but to come back in again. Same distance from goal, still inside their forward 50, so an opportunity. Ball from that ruck contest comes out. McPherson, no, Marnie it was, that got the ball and delivers the ball back towards centre wing. Good spoil from behind by Davis. Ground level, picked up out there, and again kick forward by Della. Long kick into their forward line. Mark required, and Mark has been taken. Boyd once again has taken it, and he is again similar position to the last, and he is about 20 metres out directly in front of goal. Execution last time was spot on. Has to repeat it once again.
Geez, causing him some trouble down there.
Bit of height now, mate, isn't there?
And strength.
Cam. Yep. So again, Dan Boyd with 2 for the afternoon. Looking at goal number 3. Little sideward stagger. Runs at the ball. He has his third on the board, and the 7th now for Thompson. They move to 7-5. They lead Belmont Lions with 3 goals too. They've gone just over 15 minutes. Elders Insurance, second quarter.
I'll tell you what, if you look behind the goals, you can see like a seam or a post going right down the middle of those posts, and that's what it hit. Right through the middle, just like the last one. He's got his kicking boots on. He's marking everything. He's strong. And that is a really, really handy goal because Belmont kicked the first couple and looked like they were really going to come at Thompson. But just like I saw them do a few weeks ago, they steady, they do what they have to do, and they get some score back on the board for themselves.
Back in the middle now. Good to see Mayman back out there. Jarvis doesn't quite win the tap, but then follows up with a nice tackle. So we're going to have a stoppage in virtually the same position.
And their tackling pressure is still 100%, Thompson. It's unbelievable.
That's how they're winning the game. Is all around the ball, around the contest. As Plant, who often leads from the front in the contest work, the ball heads out wide, and the umpire might have seen a free kick. He did. He said Jacka held on to his opponent. So far centre wing, Belmont have the ball going up towards the 50 mark. Ball gets over the top of McPherson. Now coming back the other way for Belmont was Brockett. He makes the contest, and there's going to be a stoppage 50 metres out from Belmont's goal. Watch Smets at this contest here. He's so good at reading the contest off the back, although it comes the way of Belmont on this occasion. Over the top now. Evans, can he get some hands out? He can. Comes the other way. They have an opportunity here, Belmont. They got a handball going past to the man. He started it all. Right foot, check side. Into the near side. It was Johnston. He started it all and he couldn't finish it. That's a minor score to Belmont. The score is 3-2-20 to 6-4-40.
7-5.
7-5. 25. So they bring it out to Smets now. He's just happy to probably send the ball down in the path of Cam. He's going to go take a great contested mark overhead. That's the benefit of having Jarvis out there as well. He's going to go to their other key in Boyd. Or he had a couple of goes
there
at
goes
it,
the
but
calf.
eventually,
No. Or the thigh.
Thigh. So they go to Kamarich now. He's
coming off.
Good.
Yep.
Goes to the tip of the goal line now. McFadgen, he might lead all comers. He does. McFadgen goes to gather the ball, loses his feet. He's got to do better on that occasion. He does another crack at it now. Hannessy, can he gather the ball? He goes out wider. McFadgen still involved. Thompson still ball in dispute. And is there found a free kick? It might go the way of Thompson. It will. So Zach Plant now is going to send Thompson inside forward 50. He does. Into the path of Jarvis, is it? Or is it Cam? I think it's Cam.
Jeez, he's taken a couple of two big marks in the last couple of minutes, Cam.
So Cam from the pocket. It's half angle, hard up against it, but no more than 30 metres out. It is Cam, isn't it? Yeah, I see. Yeah, good.
Taking him up on the forward flank, taking him back in the pocket. He's everywhere, and he's going to have to be if the big fella Boyd doesn't come back on.
He won't be coming back.
It didn't look good, did it?
No.
He's a notable goal kicker as well, Geordie Cam. Loves a goal and loves a celebration. Kicks straight through the middle. What about that from the big ruckman?
8-5 now to the Thompson side. 3-3 Belmont Lions. Elders Insurance second quarter.
You forgot that bit, Hutch, did you?
He was getting
the scores aren't keeping up to date on the app, and you can't see the scoreboard from here, so we've got to go off Smithy.
They've really turned the game around at the moment, Thompson, because, as I said before, the first couple of Belmont, mind you, the last two forays into the forward line for Belmont should have been goals. One got just touched on the line, another bad miss, and they probably should have been a bit closer, but now they've got to work so hard.
So we're back in the middle of the ground once again. Jarvis doing the ruck work. Ball from it comes out, goes to Murdoch. He goes round the body into the half forward line. Again, now at ground level, McPherson leads in the race for the ball. Gets away from Cam. Slipped as he got there. Handballs out. Goes to the hands of Brockett. They still maintain possession. Kick him to the forward line wasn't great. Getting back, helping out was Jarvis. Taps it up.
That, did he?
Umpire says he's raised it. And he is going to be given a free kick against him. Free kick to go to Benny McPherson. Let's hope he executes a little bit better this time in.
Well, he's just going to have to, otherwise they can't get themselves back into this game of footy.
So hasn't troubled the scoreboard here today. But he's always got one minor score, but a major I'm talking about. An opportunity here for his first goal. So McPherson now will kick from just inside the 50. Steps in now, kicks long at goal. Umpire says
a better kick.
That is okay. He does have his first for the afternoon. And the fourth now for the Belmont Lions. They move to 4-3. And Thompson around 8, goals 5. We have travelled just on 20 and a half minutes. Elders Insurance second quarter.
Yeah, 20 and a half minutes, so that they really needed that one. But I reckon they get themselves back in the game because they'll be against it in the third quarter. I still think they need another 2. But mind you, not just get another 2. The way Thompson are playing their footy, they're going to stop Thompson from getting 1 or 2 themselves because if that happens, they'll be right behind the 8-ball Belmont Lions. And the pressure's been put on them top of the ladder for the first time in a while. They've got to show some strength back.
Back in the middle now. Jarvis, tap over the top was a smart. Oh, I thought it was a smart topo, but it might have been kicking in danger.
No, it's a hold. The umpire back here is indicating a
It
hold.
was holding, so it's going to go the way of Kamarich.
Jeez.
Not the man you want to give a free kick to. Go inside 450. Kamarich just to kind of up and under kick in the path of Cam. Can he take a mark? He's got the hot hand at the moment, but no, it comes off his hands into the path of McFadden. It was a good handball up now. Goes again there. And then now Belmont defending hard, and they're going to see the ball over the boundary line. So it's going to be a stoppage 50 metres out from Thompson's goal. 4-2-26 to 8-5-53. This second quarter brought to you by Elders Insurance. Have the ball back in now, right on the 50 line. Cam, who's been absolutely everywhere, gets the ball down. Smets is roving the pack. Don't be surprised if he gets the ball here. Waiting for the ball to come out, and it doesn't, so we'll have another stoppage. This is what Thompson, this is how they want to play the game today. They want it, they don't have as many bigs, and especially with Boyd down now. They want to be a contested football all day. The umpire's picked out another free kick here. He said he was holding him. It's going to go the way of Geordie Cam. He's 50 metres out. He's pointing at the goals. So,
well, he knows it's not 50 up.
He does. He knows it's about 37 metres. So Geordie Cam, for his second goal, he's had a really good second quarter. He's going to try and go the journey. He gives it everything he's got. Is it got the distance it does, but it doesn't have the accuracy. So it's going to be a minus score for Geordie Cam, but he definitely was in his rights of having a shot there. So it's at 4-4-28 to 8-5-53. 22 and a half minutes gone on the Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
So the ball being brought back into the play now by Wilson. Plays on, goes long out towards centre wing. Mark required out there. Unfortunately, it's going to be a mark, but it's going to be to the Thompson side. Cam once again chips the ball back inside, and that's to Kamarich. And that's now he's been called to play on by the umpire. Has a player outside in Bach. He kicks the ball as high as it went long there. Mark will be paid, yes, says the umpire. And it will be with Belmont Lions. They chip the ball sideways, so they manoeuvre the ball outside to Eddie. Hasn't been as prominent today as he normally is. Goes back inside, so they're maintaining and playing a little possession football. Steele with it now, still in the defensive end for them. Got a player across the ground. We'll go in that direction now. Outside we'll find Lindsay in some space by himself. He plays up, little short kick and a dab. Wasn't great because the spoil come on into the hands now of Joe's. Goes back outside to Smets. He looks up, longer kick in towards goal. Back there it will be a mark taken, and that will be Pelham for the Belmont Lions. So right in the goal square. He now plays on again, goes back to where the ball came from. Again, a mark required from the Belmont side, but it's not taken out there. Ends up in the hands of Smets once again. Handballs out inside, and that was to Hobbs. Hobbs got the handball away, put his teammate under a little bit of pressure. Ball goes out towards the boundary line now, and it's gone over. Will be thrown back into the field of play.
That was McFadden on that far side, number 48, I think he is. Really good hands straight down, but then he got the ball back, and I think it was Hobbs put him back under pressure, as you said, Smithy, and created the turnover. They probably
just do the ball by ball, idiots.
So the ball now with the umpire, and again Jarvis doing the ruck work, as we said, back into the fray. Mame in the front position, goes back towards the boundary line, coming out. No clean possession out there, although Thompson now through Cam, I think it was, went after it, picked it up, and it's umpires is allowing things to roll.
Yeah, you got
a little bit too long.
Quicker than that.
And he's now going to be asked to have the ball back and throw it up on centre wing on the far side of the ground. Front position held out there by Jarvis. Ball comes down, coming through. Read that nicely, Kamarich. Got the handball outside the plant into the half-forward line. McLeod up, just couldn't hang on to it. So with the Belmont Lions, now they've got a chance. They go backwards into the hands now. Pelham goes, kick was smothered. It's been turned over. Running away from the goal. Cam chips the ball up and will be okay because Hennessy, I think, has taken the mark. And he is inside 50, can go back and have another look at goal for the Thompson side.
When you've got pressure put on you like this, don't muck around with it. Don't be too cute. Kick the bloody thing out of defence. And if it goes to a Thompson player, they're 60, 70 metres out. But he's kicked it straight down his throat trying to be. Just get rid of it and get it out of the defence. Because that's why Thompson are winning, because of their pressure.
So Hennessy inside 50 when he kicks the ball, I will think. And as I said, directly in front of goal. Accuracy required. Kicks at goal, distance is there, accuracy is also pretty good. He's got his first of the afternoon and the ninth now for the Thompson side. They move to 9-6 and the Belmont Lions are 4-3. We have ticked over 26 minutes. Elders Insurance second quarter.
I must admit, I've only seen Belmont a few times, but I really haven't seen them play as poorly as this.
No.
But the reason they're playing poorly, as I've said a million times, Thompson have come to play. They've come to put pressure on pressure on pressure. That's what they're doing. Perceived pressure. The blokes handball it when they're probably too quick when they don't have to, and they've got them in trouble. And I don't know where Belmont's going to get a second life from here. I really don't.
And you boys laughed at me when I tipped Thompson. So we're back in the middle
No, we
now.
didn't.
Jarvis is down. Ball comes out to Murdoch. Up and under kick going out wide to Gardner. Doesn't win the ball on that occasion. It comes out to Stapleton. He has a shot from outside 50, and I think it's going to be out of bounds on the full.
Did you laugh at him when he tipped Thompson?
Yes.
I should have.
Why?
Well, I've tipped against the Belmont Lions the last 2 weeks and they've shown me up.
Yeah,
so.
but with all the injuries, it was a 50-50 game.
Yeah.
I don't think we tipped laughter. You only tipped Thompson because you barracked for him, you
Not
dickhead.
at all.
Who's
Anyway,
betcha?
back in now. Back goes long down that line off hands of Jarvis. And then
Mayman claimed it.
Mayman does claim it. It was a good mark taken, so it's good to see he's okay. He's going to look up. He's going to be here the handball to the runner coming past. Then go back to Mayman. Probably not the best idea. And then an up and under kick. There's that awkward quick kick again. Evans goes to fly. Comes back out now. There's Hobbs. He's going to go to back and then back to Smets. Smets looks up. A further afield. He has Hennessy, the most recent goal kicker. He's got a good pair of hands. He won't drop that. He looks up now. He's got Lawrence Short if he wants him. He's not going to have... He's going to go down the line to, I think it's Jarvis and Cam. Coming out now, beautifully roved by Maxi Della. He gets a handball on. Eddie goes to gather the ball for Belmont. He gets tackled as he kicked. Well done from Thompson. Good pressure here. Murdoch now handball inside out. They've got to get the ball on the boot here. It's great pressure from Thompson. Coming back the other way with a big contest with Jarvis. Now here go Belmont. Here's an opportunity for him. They're going to go inside forward 50. Here's McPherson. Usually something good happens. He gets smacked after. He did get bumped. It's bounce. I think it was a minor score anyway. He got bumped after he kicked, but,
yeah, but the
because
siren had already gone.
It doesn't matter. So that is the end of the second quarter. Is that right? Yeah, no score.
No.
4-3, 9-6.
So it's 4-3-27 to 9-6-60. And the end of the second quarter, over 28.5 minutes, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
So goal kickers for the home side. We've got one each to Stapleton, McPherson, Brockett and Wilson. And for Thompson, we have 3 to Boyd, 1 each to Maguire, Hennessy, Smets, Cam, and that's Jordan, Joes and Gardner. Take a short break, come back. Second half action is not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Winchester 8-4-52. Obviously the scoreboard here at the moment, we've got 4-3-27 to the Belmont Lions, 9-6 to Thompson, and have definitely earned their position here this afternoon. The Giants still hold sway at home. They are 7-5-47. They lead Anarchy 5 goals 3. So that game is obviously still in the balance and could go either way, but sides are moving very quickly to their respective positions. We said Lucas Boyd, to me, looked like he has done a thigh or a quad muscle, and I don't think he'll be taking any further part, to be honest. I don't even think he ran out with the side after half-time, so imagine he would be showered and dressed and making his way around to the box very shortly. But both the Archers just made him saving back in. Grubby's probably still on his way, still enjoying the hospitality of the Belmont Lions, with the umpire not too far away from starting this third quarter. Has ball in hand. Josh Cam looks like he's going to go in and start things off for the Thompson side. And Mayman, again, as we said, after a knock early, has got himself back into the game and is playing as well. So umpire, ball in hand. Siren has now sounded. So umpire is now approaching the centre circle and will throw it up. So Ruckman to go at it once again. Ball, Cam over the top. Very nice into Kamarich. Didn't take it cleanly. Murdoch picked up, went to Mitchell. Outside. Picked the ball up once again. Kick was smothered by Cam coming through. Next to was Jarvis. And again, tackle was laid. No ball in hand. Free kick is going to go to the Thompson side. So we're going to have the ball from just side of the centre circle now. Plays on, goes out wide. I reckon that might have been Russell. Brought the ball back into their forward line. Jost roving the ball off the pack. A little bit round the corner. Lead up player Smets comes at him, and he will go back and start things as they did in the first quarter, with a goal very early in the quarter.
Last time I think he's going to kick it, Smithy.
Hey?
You're already saying he's going to kick it.
Well, Billy doesn't miss too many, mate. Very reliable shot at goal, Billy.
Put the glasses down. You've marked it in.
No, I haven't yet. And mostly they do that when you rave them up. They shank it. But Billy Smets steps in now. Yes, you're right. Straight off the boot. Never looked like going through. You're a good man, Grub. A minor score for Billy Smets, and that moves the Thompson side now to 9-7. And as I said, they lead the Belmont Lions on 4 goals 3. We've gone just over a minute. Third quarter, P&R Foods.
That's why you don't say they've kicked it before they have, Smithy. Back in now. Just take a little bit to get the ball, and Belmont will return. It's going to be Eddie. He's going to go to nearly centre wing, runs his full measure and then kicks far, and then they're going to win the ball out the back there. That was Summers who got the ball and then kicks long down the line. Coming back the other way was the Thompson defender. He does pretty well. Did he get dispossessed of the ball? Johnston's there for Belmont. Coming back the other way is, I think it was Jacko, and then Davis was in there as well, and Mayman. No team can gather possession of the ball right now. Eddie's in and under. It's near the centre of the ground, and the ball is going to be balled up.
Geez, you missed a great feed, Smithy. You'll be spewing you didn't go over there.
I can understand that, Grub. As I said, I would have loved to have gone over there, but I reckon I would have been stormy way.
Everything's gone. Run out.
And we're back down now. Ball tapped out. It was beautifully roved, and then, probably a free kick should have gone to Kamarich, although the umpire says play on. Coming back the other way is Eddie. He's starting to get more and more into the game in this second half as the ball comes nearly to... it's now kicked inside the forward 50 of Belmont. Johnston gathers the ball. Is he going to release out to his teammate in Wilson? He does, and then to the tip of the goal line. Here's McPherson's opportunity. It gets tapped down into his teammate. Allen's there as well. Can he get the ball back to McPherson? He can't quite. Good defence here from Thompson. Just been in and under all day. Contested football. And they're going to have a stoppage inside the forward 50 of Belmont.
They've actually been paying that type of tackle, a sling tackle, up till today, but he didn't seem to deem it a sling one, so that's fair enough.
Back up again here. 45 metres out from Belmont's goal. Coming quick at the stoppage there, trying to rove it. I think it was Michelle, but have another ball in now. It's going to be a throw in this time. 50 metres out from Belmont's goal. First goal of this second half is huge in the context of this game. Goes without saying, Thompson with the win this quarter. Back in now, Jarvis in the ruck against Evans. He wins the ball out and then kicks an up and under kick into the path of Johnson. The umpire says it hasn't gone far enough, and then I think Jacko went over the top of Johnson. They still have the ball in motion here. Belmont, can they get a shot on goal? McPherson's in the pocket. A couple of players trying to. McPherson now tackling. It comes out. Now they might get the ball out finally, but it's well set up here from Belmont. Eddie couldn't take the mark. They still retain possession. It was a good tackle from Jose, although the ball ends up in Murdoch's hands. And then back, I think it was Wilson. He goes up and under. Can someone take a mark? They're looking at Evans. McPherson's there as well. The ball's punched over the boundary line. So it'll be a ball in 30 metres out from Belmont's goal. 4-3-27 to 9-7-61 with 4 minutes gone in this third quarter. Brought to you by P&R Foods.
Now back with the umpire, as I said, 20 metres around from the behind post. Be thrown back in. So ball now back into the play. Again, Jarvis runs at it but couldn't take possession of it. Ball at ground level. Again, there's some players around the contest and it's pretty hard to pick up who's got the ball down that far away. The umpire says, let's have it back anyway. We'll start it again. Jarvis and Evans doing the ruck work. Evans manoeuvres the body in front there. Ball comes out though. Again, kick wasn't couldn't clear the congestion. Umpire has no choice again to come in, and another ball up will take place.
It is a calf too, apparently, Boyd.
Oh, it was a calf, was it?
So they're saying.
Gee, I would have thought it was a thigh the way he pulled up.
We thought that, but they said no, definitely calf.
Okay, so they're the things that happen. As I said, instinctive play. Ball comes out, goes in the hands of Evans. That's Jack, goes back into their full forward position. Mark not taken out there. Could have been a hold. Ball comes to the ground. Picked up by Cam. That's Jordan this time. He goes back outside 50 again. Mark is not taken out there. To Belmont with the players and the numbers around. Tackle has been laid. Umpire said now. He's had an opportunity, but it's not going to come out. Looks like is it Jarvis or Cam? Ball now from that play.
Oh, a big
up
man
over the
play
top.
for the Roughleys pie.
He's a bit sluggish getting off the ground this time too, I think. He's not getting up too quickly there, Jackson McLeod.
That's what I said before. You hate to see him go to ground because you're not sure whether he's going to get up again, but he's given the ball straight away.
So he's asked Jackson McLeod just to clear out the area, and he's going to do that. He's a little bit sluggish. Nice grab. Good finish, but can't take the kick. And now
he's just so disappointed.
I reckon he's heard it.
He thinks he's heard it bad, Smithy, the way that we're so frustrated and disappointed.
So Kamarich has got the free kick, but they're going to wait. He's outside the area, so he'll probably start because he's not immobilised. So ball is again with McCarriage. I'm not too sure the umpire's agreed to start things up. Yes, he has. Now he called the play on. So Kamarich goes into their forward line. Mark in front. Cam, good pair of hands once again. So he can go back and look at his, what's he got today? He got one so far. Can look at his second for the afternoon. Long kick into the forward line. Quick play. Ball gets to the goal square. Wilson concedes, and Thompson, another minor score, moves them along now to 9-8. 4-3 to the Belmont Lions. And just over 7 minutes gone. Looks like it's going to be Eddie that's going to do the kicking in duties from the fullback position. And they need to keep things rolling here. So he now delivers the ball again back outside the 50. Mark not taken out there. Cam put his hand up. Ball gets through the contest, runs towards the boundary line. Buck couldn't keep it in the field of play. And there will be a throw-in which will take place. So the casualties at Thompson, they continue to grow by the looks of the grub.
Yeah.
And two of those players are the ones you mentioned before the game.
Well, they're the two that went in. Two of the ones that went in under an injury cloud.
Yep.
So, you know, the other one looks pretty good. So
Jarvis and Mayman doing the ruck work. Jarvis again in front of the contest. Ball is going to be held up. The umpire will call for it back once again.
What's your typical calf injury? Is it how bad you do it, or?
Yeah, it is. It's
and especially in your history.
strains. Yeah.
So the ball now from the ground again. It's going to be picked up. Handball over the top. May have been Murdoch. Gets the ball out. And no, it wasn't, because I think that was Murdoch kicked the ball into the forward line. So again, ball quickly in there. McPherson up over the top. Didn't take the mark. Mowat tackled. Brought to ground. Ball not coming out. Umpire in again.
Let me just say, through experience, he's gone in. He's done a calf. He's gone in under a cloud of a calf injury and done it again. It could be a bad one.
Yep.
It could be worrying.
Could he have just twanged it? So it might not
I wouldn't
be-
have thought so
No,
after the
no,
first one.
okay.
I think he
No,
could
pulled
be
up
in
quick,
trouble.
pulled up quick.
Yeah, and then walk straight off. A second one in not too many weeks. It could be problems.
So the ball game thrown back up, and again the ruck contest. Neither ruckman really got a hand on it. Ball kicked back towards centre wing. Again, Belmont numbers around the contest. Steele got it, trapped it, plucked it out, got the handball outside, gave it to Eddie, went back to Steele, put himself under pressure. He needs to get rid of it. Was able to do so, and just outside it goes. Mark not taken out there in the far side. Well, actually,
Maybe
may
it
have
has.
been
Maybe
played.
it has.
That wasn't a bad grab out there.
to
Might have been
finish.
Mitchell, is it? And he's got the ball. Handball's back outside. Running player Eddie delivers the ball long into their forward line. Mark required out there. Spoiled from behind by Davis. Ball comes to ground. Again, players around it very quickly. And umpire, again, this time did the right thing. And he will come in and ball it up. So we've gone just on 9 minutes. It's 9-8 to the Thompson side. 4-3 Belmont Lions. P&R Foods third quarter.
25 metres out from the Belmont goal, and the next goal is massive in the context of this game.
Don't know if it's going to come quickly. They just haven't got someone up there like a Boyd or a Cam to take a big mark.
So, ball typed down now. Here's their opportunity. It might be Murdoch. He snaps back.
Tell you what.
He's kicked the goal. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Murdoch snapped back and beautifully placed. Kicks the goal, and 5-3, 33 to 9-7, 61. 10 minutes gone on the P&R third quarter food scoreboard.
And that's what I'm talking about. When the ball hits the ground, they're a 50-50 chance. Both sides 50-50. But when you just kick it straight up into the forward line with no big marker, it's not a 50-50 anymore. The chances of marking it are about 20-80. So what Belmont have got to do, they've got to find another way to go in. They've got to have, I don't know if Evans is still there, or they've got to have those blokes leading and try and bring it in a different way, because it's just going to keep getting repelled if they just stick it up high without that big marker.
Back in the middle now. Jarvis it is, trying to get it into Smets. Oh, he's so good at roving those. And he only got run down from behind from Allen, and though he goes in the path of Hannessy. The ball is punched away by Phillips, and we'll have a ball in 50 metres out from Thompson's attacking goal.
Just around the ground. This is Winchester now broken away again. 65, they lead Cryo 37. And the Giants currently have a 20-point lead over Anarchy, 55 to 35.
3 upsets in a day, maybe.
Possibly.
So we're 50 metres out from Thompson's goal. Belmont need to start. Need to get the next one. Need to get a couple in a row. Put the pressure on them. So ball comes back in. Mayman couldn't quite. Dalla was there as well, and so was Russell. The ball might be all comers and go out of bounds. It does. So we'll have another repeat stoppage here. And I'm sure Thompson don't mind this. Take the sting out of the game.
Still got a chance.
I'll say.
Gonna be back in now. Stoppage 50 metres out from Thompson's goal still. Ball hasn't moved in the last minute. Jarvis gets the tap down in the path of Dalla and Smets. Coming back the other way was Murdoch, the last goal kicker. He tried to get out of Smets' tackle and couldn't, so he's pinged. So Billy Smets has the ball. Was he tripped over? He wasn't. So he's 55 metres out. He might go in the path to Geordie Cam. He's also got Lawrence. No, he's going to go a bit deeper to Kamarick. Kamarick and Cam.
And there's your difference.
Cam takes the mark. It was a beautifully well-weighted kick from Billy Smets. Allowed Geordie Cam to jump. He didn't really jump. He just sat there and took the mark out in front. And the player of Geordie Cam's calibre, I'm sure he won't have any problems kicking this in his second goal of the day. So, Cam to kick Thompson's 10th goal. Oh, it makes the umpire work, but I think he snuck it and he has. Cam's second goal. With 12 and a half minutes gone on the P&R Foods scoreboard. And the score is 8-10.
10-8.
10-8 to 5-3. Thompson leading.
That's what I was saying. Belmont can't afford to just kick that up there without the big marker, but Thompson can, because I reckon Jordan Cam has marked just about everything that's come his way. He's kicked a couple. He's marked them up on the half-forward line, the forward pocket. They have got a target. Belmont haven't. And that's the difference in this game at the minute.
So again, back in the middle of the ground we go. This time Jarvis down to Kamaric again. He leads, or kicks the ball out wide, goes out towards Phillips. He leads the race for the ball. He had it but lost it. Ball now turned over in the hands of Russell. And Russell from Thompson goes back into their half-forward line. Maguire was there, made the contest, and that was on McNamara. The ball goes over. We'll have a throw-in. It's inside forward 50, so they continue to attack. Going to be a couple of players down. The margin comfortable at the moment. What's the match of the day happening out at Lara, mate? What's going on there?
St Albans 11-10-76, Lara 1-4-10.
So the ball now from the contest goes back towards centre wing, and that's from Marnie. Evans had it but couldn't take the mark. Moa picked the ball up, goes outside. Again through Russell, he gets the handball back outside to Kamaric, goes back into the forward line. That's a better attack on the ball, and the mark has been taken out there by Lindsay. He goes back to the goal square. I think he was having a shot, but it went through for a minor score, but it's to Thompson. And they now move to a 10-9. They lead Belmont Lions 5-3.
Got to be careful here, Belmont's going to stay composed. Still plenty of time left in the match, and they're going to have the win with the last quarter. So Eddie is going to go long now. Down the line, comes back to Murdoch. He's played some type of a game. Then further on now, I think it's Michelle will get this ball. He does. So they're in centre wing, Belmont. They're going to keep going up the field. There's Eddie. He's a pinpoint kick usually, but that one was just out of the reach of Josh Allen, and the ball goes out of bounds. So we're 65 metres out from Belmont's goal. Ball in.
So who's the healthier side in the top 5 at the present time? Belpo still?
East.
On East, yes.
Have a ball in now.
But we've still got a few weeks to go.
There we have.
Anything can happen.
Ruckman, go at it. Pushed out there was Evans, pushed Jarvis out, then he got the ball back now. I think it might have been back who got the ball forward. McFadgen just got beaten, not strong enough, comes forward now. Coming down back again, he goes in and under. He might have copped a whack to the face, so he's fallen over the ball, and there's going to be a stoppage 60 metres out from Belmont's goal. So we're up again here. It's Jarvis versus Mayman. He gets it Plant, and then Russell, and then Smets. Billy Smets goes inside, looking for Cam. It's going to be out in the wing. He's got to gather the ball and then turn back in. Oh, he's agile for a ruckman, is he? He just gets rid of his opponent so easily. Goes in the path of Lawrence, the first gamer. Can he gather the ball? It gets tapped out of his reach and then over the behind line. So very tense moments for Belmont there in the first game. Luke Lawrence nearly had a shot on goal, but
the kick just didn't quite favour him enough.
It didn't. It would have been better to put some height on it, and had a chance for him to have a run and jump at it. So it's going to be Steele now to exit for Belmont. Goes down that line. I think Jarvis was there. There's Cam. He gets caught, but he got a ball. I thought he got a boot to it. No, umpire says he didn't. That's fair enough. Maven will be the recipient of the free kick.
Still not quite sure there was actually a lot of prior too. He picked it up and tried to kick it straight away.
So now handball out wide to Eddie. He's just come into the game this quarter. Wide to Evans now. He's going to look up. Go long down that line over the top. Big fist came from Hobbs, but Hobbs must have blocked. No, might actually go the way of Hobbs. It's going to go the way of Jacker. So Sam Jacker with a free kick. He's going to try and switch it to the far side of the ground. Goes to back. He's got Hobbs on next, and they've got McFadgen. Are they going to go for it, or they've got Maguire? No, he's going to go to McFadgen. So McFadgen takes the mark. No, umpire says he held it long enough.
That's not a mark. That's play on. But once he's paid it, he's paid it.
Yeah, he can't go back once he's done the
but they do.
Whistle. So, yeah, exactly right. So he goes in the path to Hennessy. Probably not a good option. The outsized Hennessy, and Mayman takes the mark. So he's just got options down the line. He's going to go handball aside to Lindsay. Lindsay goes far and long, searching for Evans, and then Summers is there as well. We're going to have a ball up 50 metres out from Belmont's goal. So 5-3-33 to 10-10-70. 17 and a half minutes gone this third quarter, brought to you by P&R Foods.
So ball up on the half-forward line, taken out there by Evans, out the hand to Marnie. Marnie long back towards goal. I tell you what, that is a magnificent finish. Rock Marnie off a step is planted that one from outside 50. And Belmont Lions now to 6-3. They trail Thompson on 10-10. 18 minutes gone. P&R Foods third quarter.
And I'll tell you something, that's got to be a huge contender for the Connectel. Yeah, that's right, Connectel. Goal of the day. That was a beautiful goal.
Yep, off a step too, mate. Didn't have much effort.
No, but I tell you what, they need a few more of them because Thompson have got them covered. Again, though, first time up they went in, where did they go? Up high. Where'd the ball go? Straight down to the ground. No 50-50 there. Thompson are always going to cover that. Always.
It's nearly time for the heater. Isn't it, Brad?
You're such an old man.
So back in the middle we go once again. Jarvis doing the ruck work. He's up against Evans. Ball comes out. Picked up. Handball goes to Maguire outside to Kamaric. Into the hands of Jacker. And Jacker into the half-forward line. Ready it nicely. McNamara for the Belmont Lions. Will take the mark. Turns it back inside to the centre square. Evans has it. And this is Jack. And he's going to go out wide. Lead player, Mark, will it be taken out there? No, it's not. Running player coming past. It's Belmont. They look to get the ball out to Murdoch, but unfortunately couldn't pick it up cleanly. Over the top of it. Might be dangerous here because he sat over the top of it. Umpire circling and says, you are gone. Free kick will go to the Thompson side. So back in the hands of Buck now, and he has got the ball in the half-back line. Little left boot goes long towards their half-forward line numbers with the Belmont Lions, and it's going to be paid out there. Pelham standing his ground in front. Cam just couldn't reach up over the top this time. So Pelham now, he's going to put the ball back to where it came from once before. Evans can't take the mark. Ball is pushed back over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in, which will take place once again.
Evans doesn't seem to be deep.
No. Well, I was just about to say, I can't remember a game that I've seen or even looked at results where I haven't had an Evans in the goal kickers for the day. So
Yeah. Well, none of them are down neither.
no, so the ball from that ruck contest goes to Jarvis, taps it down towards the front of the contest, picked up Marnie, got out of the contest, did that nicely, handballs off, outside, into the hands there of Summers, who kicks back towards the half-forward line, but the mark hadn't, or no, it's gone over the boundary line. A throw-in will take place on that far side. So again, outside 50, it's in between both there and centre wing on the far side of the ground. Thrown back in. Jack Evans up there against Jarvis. You think Jarvis with the height, ball comes down. Umpire's he blown his whistle. There is an infringement. It's going to go to Evans. Must have been over the shoulder, I think, from the indication. So Evans now an opportunity to drive the ball long into their forward line. Again, out the back, Davis. Good, strong contest there. Sees the ball back over the boundary line. And another throw-in will take place. So we've gone over 21 minutes in this third quarter. It is Thompson 10-10. They lead Belmont Lions 6-3.
No more than 25 metres out here from Belmont's goal. They need the next one here. Evans nearly used his body well, but it was well rode by Kamaric. Comes out now, couple of juggles, and then the attempt to the mark. It was McNamara. He couldn't quite, but then he was involved again. They're using their hands now well. Belmont Steele got the ball, tried to go forward. Johnston a tap, which was nearly
that's
a throw.
got to be deliberate. That's got to be deliberate the way they've been playing.
Yeah, it is. I just thought it was nearly a throw. I thought he nearly palmed the ball anyway, but it's deliberate. It's going to go Thompson's way, whichever way you choose. So
They're the ones I don't worry about because they are blatant.
So Kamaric here. He looks up and McNamara's in the hole again. It might go straight down his throat here for the third time in a row. It just gets over the back. So here's Thompson's opportunity. They can get the ball and run, get it into some space. They can't quite. It's still a contested ball. It's still very contested, and it's going to come all the way back out to Steele, and he's going to go with an up and under kick that's going to go in the path, or coming back with a flight was Johnston. He couldn't quite, and then Marnie got the ball forward, then Evans used his body well. He's going to use a handball forward, trying to find McPherson, but then coming back the other way was Josh Cam. He did really well, and then the ball is parried over the boundary line by Benny McNamara, so we're going to have a ball in 55 metres out from Belmont's goal. Ball back in now. Front position. It was Evans versus Jarvis. Evans might rove his own ball, or he does, and then got it all the way back to Deister. Deister, he's kicked it. Is it McNamara got it? Oh, sorry, it's McPherson. Good mark by McPherson. Him and Johnston nearly collided, so it was lucky they didn't. And Benny McPherson looking for his second goal from 40 metres out, pretty much directly in front, and it's probably one of the most important kicks of the match so far. He's not wasting any time here. Benny McPherson comes in. It didn't look like he struck that one. Oh, that one, but he's kicked it. Straight through the middle. 7-3, 45 to 10-10-70, 23 minutes gone on the PNR Foods third quarter scoreboard.
Just imagine. It's just unbelievable what happened. I don't know if the coaches have listened to me or whatever, but they brought the ball in low and quick to a lead. Only way to do it from here on in. And they've obviously worked that out, and there's a goal. And that's one way that Belmont Lions can get back into this game. But as I said, Thompson have answered every challenge so far, and wouldn't surprise me if they go up and get the return goal.
So back to the umpire now, in the middle of the ground. Again, ruckman out it. Mayman, as I said, doing the ruck work. Ball comes from that ruck contest, goes towards Evan. Shrugs his way out of there. Little boot going going backwards, but ends up with Steele. Ends up now in the hands of Gardner. He kicks long into their forward line. And it's going to be towards Maguire. Must be playing out of full forward at the moment. Ball there. Jose, head over it. He is tackled. Ball won't come out of there. Umpire. He has done the right thing there and balled this up, or will ball it up quickly.
I'm not sure, Smithy. He laid a tackle in that last piece of play down there.
Yep.
And the back line, I don't know.
So the ball now out of that ruck contest. Kamarich smart round the boundary line, but unfortunately couldn't bring it back anywhere near far enough. I wouldn't have claimed it was touched there.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, no.
I can't believe that. The Belmont bloke's claiming touch, but it's out the full.
I think he thought
Maybe he thought it was heading through for a goal and then...
Took the easier option first. But
Well, they've listened to him because they're going to throw it in.
should have weighed up his options first, I reckon.
Yeah, he
Just
should have
held
yelled
back
out,
a
I
little bit.
didn't touch it.
So boundary umpire now with the ball, going down the forward line. Cam doing the ruck work. Out the back, I can't see. It must be Mayman. It is covered up by that pole. Ball out the back, or Cam had a bit of it. Goes back to him once again. Picks up, snaps it, goal. Offline, but it will score and through for a minor score. Jordan Cam 2-2 for the afternoon. 10 goals 11 now. Thompson 7-3 to the Belmont Lions. 25 minutes gone. PNR Foods third quarter.
It's going to be returned here. This sport looks like a going with a spread kind of play, all out to one side here. Eddie goes long.
What a great kick.
Yeah, it wasn't at all. He didn't get good connection. It was a good tackle laid, though, coming back the other way. I think it was Summers.
That's the point. If you're going to have a proper spread like that, you've got to kick it properly.
So, ball back now. Handball, that was beautiful from Plant. Into the path of Kamarich. This will be a goal. No, just missing to the far side. He's had two opportunities to kick some cracking goals in the last 5 minutes. Another minor score, so the ball come back in quickly. It's going to be Pelham. He's going to go down the line. They're not going to spread this time. Oh, it was nearly uncontested, I think it was. It might have been Jacker or Josh Cam, and the ball, he just might have lost it in the sun. So there's going to be another stoppage. 65 metres out from Thompson's goal. Back up again here. Ball down into the path. Johnston did beautifully, just stepping through traffic. Got the handball out to Wilson. Wilson just banged it on the boot. Jacker over the top of the fist, but he couldn't quite make contact. So now they've got some players running back. They've got a couple spare here. Thompson is going to go long into the path of Evans. He's got to beat 4. It gets out the back, and there's no one there, so it's going to run out of bounds. So there'll be a stoppage no more than 25 metres from Belmont's goal. We have 27 minutes gone in this third quarter. 6-3-39 to 10-10-70.
So the ball now back with the umpire, thrown in. Jarvis, ball comes out the back though. Again, picked up. Evans, looked for the handball outside. Went outside. I reckon he found Johnson, but he was tackled straight away, and umpire will ask for it back again. They work pretty hard down there. I just need to get some results, as we said. Evans, that's a big tap back towards the goals. Ball is going to run towards the goal square, getting back. Going to be picked up out there. Davis tackled. How will the umpires see it? He has said no prior opportunity. And again, a ball up will take place right in the goal square here.
Just a correction on those scores. Sorry, Smithy. 7-3-45, Belmont to 10-13. 73, Thompson.
So the ball again thrown up once again. Ball comes out, picked up quickly, kicked by McNamara, went back to where it came from in the goal square, and now has been pushed through for a minor score. So the Belmont Lions now to 7 goals 4, 10-12 to the Thompson side, and 27.5 gone. With the ball being brought back in. I reckon it may be Davis. No, it's not doing Davis doing the kicking in. Is that Bark, is it? I can't even see from the
Back.
screen there. Back, is it? Back goes long left foot out, nearly towards centre wing. Again, numbers out there. It's going to be turned around. Mayman looks like he's got the ball, kicks it back into their half-forward line. McPherson's there. Cam playing on him, but the ball has gone back over the boundary line. Throw-in's going to take place, so we're ticking over 28 minutes in the P&R's third quarter. And Thompson, as I said, comfortable at this stage.
Feels like the sting's gone out of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, Big Benny Evans is now coming in doing the ruck work again. Bit of body in there. Again, went to look to get the handball out the back, but was held up straight away. So Thompson on ball is pretty well switched on to that fact. They've got him a couple of times now. Zach Plant was a tackler.
So there's Maguire up at the foot of the ruck, so I don't think he's playing full forward. You just don't know what he's doing.
So the ball now from that contest, handball comes out wide. It's been picked up. Looks like Stapleton running the boundary line. Around the body he goes, and I think he's got it. I'm going to say it's stable at this stage until we can see the number, but Belmont now to 8 goals 4. Thompson on 10 goals 12 and almost 20 minutes gone, 29 minutes gone I should say. P&R Foods third quarter.
Gee, it was a good goal and a handy goal. He sort of got tackled. He got blokes coming at him, but he just kept his cool, got around, nice snapshot. Hasn't put him back in the game nearly. It's nearly, what's the score? What are they down?
8-4 to 10-12. She's only just a bit over 3-goal game.
Goals. I tell you what, if the wind seems to have dropped away a fair bit.
Yeah. Thompson 2 down.
But they put themselves in the frame for a good last quarter anyway.
Well, Belmont get both their players back on, or just one of them? As we're back in the middle now. Mayman versus Cam. Cam's going to win his ball. He was held. The umpire didn't see it, so he can come out to Johnson, and then Back is involved as well.
That's a bit
Hobbs might have got his opponent high. He did, so it's going to go the way. They probably don't want to give away 50. They have, so Back grabbed him. He's given away 50, and Paul Lynch will not be impressed with that at all. He's still going. He's got to calm down him back because he'll give away another 50. So it's going to go to Eddie.
Well, to answer your question, if it was Finnegan,
it's Dyson,
Guinea White that went off, I don't think he's come back on.
No.
We haven't called him at all since that injury.
So, Grubby, here's your man. The funny kicking action of Matthew Dyster. He goes back from 45. Oh, that looks all right. It's coming back.
No, it's not.
No, just to the near side.
No, it was never coming back, mate. He just didn't allow for it.
So, 7...
Gee, that would have made it.
So anyway, Jacko will go long now, out wide. We get the score in a second. Comes out, off hands now. They're going to go inside 50. They've got all the momentum at the moment here, Belmont. Oh, that was beautifully done by Dyster again. It might have been across the face of goal. They're going to take a mark here. Here's the opportunity. Here's Evans. Can he find a free man? He tried to snap around the body. It was beautifully smothered. Now they've got to defend. They've got to defend for their lives here. Thompson. They got the handball over the top. Joseph's got some space. Now Thompson on the counter attack. They're going to go over the top at will. They're going to find a man inside 50 in Smets. Smets might go one more to Kamara.
Well done,
what a beautiful smother. Now it's all free for all inside 50 and the ball's jumped on top. 35 metres out. We'll have a stoppage. Thompson's goal. Some exciting footy there, and I think the game needed it.
Was that Steele, was it?
Yep.
Well, someone get in and pat him on the back. Well done.
Well, we're back up here again here. Oh, Cam, just a hack kick out of the air. It's in the path to Kamaric. Smets, Kamaric, who might come back out here. Belmont defending Gallup. They just want to rush it over. They've got to be careful, though. Kamaric is stalking the ball, and the ball will go over the goal line. So
that was a certain goal. Smets was going to hit him on the chest goal easily.
So it's 10-13 to 8-5, and now Wilson, as he kicks the ball, the siren has sounded to end the third quarter here. So, as I said, the taking its toll there. Thompson, that quarter, 1 goal 7. They kicked to the Belmont Lions, kicking 4 goals too. So things have tightened up a little bit. As we know, Jackson McLeod not taking any further part, and also Lucas Boyd not taking any further part. And we think that Finnegan, Guiney White is also out of the game for the Belmont Lions. So goal kicks at this stage of the game for the Belmont Lions, 2 each to McPherson and Stapleton, 1 to Murdoch, Marnie, Brockett and Wilson. And for the Thompson side, Boyd had 3, and that was well before half-time. 2 to Cam, 1 each to Maguire, Smets, Joes, Gardner. Take a short break. Final call to action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Yes, welcome back. As we said, things have tightened up here a little bit. 8-5 to the Belmont Lions, 10-13 we think to the Thompson side. And we're just going to report here that the Adelaide Crows 109 have defeated the Western Bulldogs 98. So another surprise in that league. Grub, how have you seen it and how do you think it's going to go in this last quarter?
Well, I don't know about a surprise. Adelaide are what, second or third on the ladder?
Oh, no, still about, yeah.
I don't know now. It seemed to be a nondescript quarter, as you said during the game, or during that quarter. The sting looked like it had gone out of it. But Belmont just managed to work their way down, and they must have kicked, 3 or 4 that quarter.
They kicked four.
Yeah, but the problem is they probably kicked, 4? So they had 6 shots for goal, whereas I think Thompson might have had about 8 shots for goal and kicked 1-7. And if Belmont were to come back and play well this quarter and get up, that 1-7 with the wind, which although it had dropped by Thompson in that third quarter, could prove pretty costly. They only had to kick 3-4 and away they'd go. But 1-7, that just probably leaves Belmont with some sort of a chance in the game. We know that there's 2 Thompson players in Boyd and Jacko McLeod who will not be coming back. And with Belmont, they haven't got anybody because Guinea White's been back on for half an hour.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, apparently so. He's taped up and he's back on. He's either not playing well, not getting a kick, or you still haven't got a clue who he is.
The other side of the ground.
Yeah.
That's probably more the case.
Or it's on there where we can't see. But he's back on. So Thompson have got 20 to choose from in this last quarter. Belmont have got 22. They'd need the wind to pick up a little bit. They'd need to get a couple of goals early. But if they can do that, they can still win this game, Belmont.
They've found ways to do it in recent weeks, Grub, so you can't discard them. Just having a look at scores from around the ground. It's Winchester 13-6, 84, leading Corio 7-9, 51. And the other game at this stage, the Giants 10-8, 68, lead Anarchy 7-7, 49. So still some margins in both those other games. So,
well, that'll be the end of Anarchy without any doubt if they can't get over the hill today.
I reckon these were games the last 2 weeks for the Guns that they needed to win. And they're going to struggle to do that, so it's against them.
Well, before that, 2 games out, they have to rely on other sides. But that can happen. But if they go 3 games out, I think you're in trouble. You're gone then.
Yeah,
you're definitely gone. I always leave them in because how many times we go, oh, yeah, this mob will win. And the other mob, like last week, Cryo beat Anarchy. No one predicted that. And that can happen on any certain day, any given day, whether it's injuries or just not having a good day. So I always sort of try and leave them in case that happens. But a loss today, I think, will put paid to them.
Yes, absolutely put paid to them. I think they're done and dusted myself right this time. So top 5 settled for me. Again, time will only tell in that situation. But this game is up for grabs, I would think.
You know what happens? If one of those sides that are 5th or whatever lose a couple and someone gets in that you haven't picked, you know I'm going to gloat like a chook, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to crow like a rooster.
And I'll let you do that because I'll deserve it. So I called it last week. I thought there was 6, but now there's only 5. And with the umpire now to start this final quarter, play is underway and it is all to be done from the Belmont Lions. They've done it in recent weeks and been able to conquer. Can they do it again? Smith's gone in the middle, got the handball outside the plant. Left boot goes into the half-forward line. Joe's out, couldn't take the mark or didn't get to him on the full anyway. Picked up, cleared away, back to Smiths. Smiths at goal, and it's
missed
over
it.
the top through for a minor score, so 10-14. Now to the Thompson side, they lead Belmont 8-5, and that was within 24 seconds of the play starting up again.
It's 10-14, but in the last quarter and a bit, it's 1-8, remember?
Yes. So it's going to be Wilson bringing the ball back in from the full-back position. He chips the ball. Gee, that's a dangerous kick. It's going to be okay because it has been marked. And Steele, who has been a solid performer for the Belmont Lions this afternoon, he's got the ball in the half-back line, decides to go towards centre wing. That kick wasn't as good. It has bounced in front of McNamara and gone over his head and out of bounds to be thrown back in on the far side. I'm not too sure that would be the area I'd be attacking from in this quarter if you want to win the game of football.
What's Belmont's score?
Belmont at 8-5.
Well, apparently the score is 53.
That's 8-5-53.
That's what I've got it at.
8-5-53.
We've got. There you go. Thank you very much, Tyler.
So the ball now comes back in, picked up, tackle laid, out of the contest. Johnson trying to rip it out of the hands, but he can't move the ball from that contest. Umpire will come in. And he's going to start things off from the middle of the ground once again. Ball up has taken place. Again, from the back, Jarvis taps the ball out, goes towards Murdoch. Murdoch got the handball further afield, went looking for a teammate. The first to arrive was Smets. He pushed it back towards the boundary line.
Now he's over the fence.
And it's going to be called back, and it will be a throw-in which will take place, far side.
Is this boundary line too close to the fence?
It always has been that far side.
There's been, over the years, there's been a lot of blokes go over the fence, isn't it? Does there have to be a special distance?
It does. 3.7 metres, I think.
You don't want to close... You just made that up.
No,
you don't want to close it in too much because it's short ground already or small area.
So the ball from the ruck contest is picked up. Again, it's going to be Evans who tries to feed the ball forward. They do so to Marnie. Tries to shrug out of the tackle, but got the handball free. Missed his teammate with the handball. Ends up in the hands of Buck. He goes back into a little kick. Must have been smothered off the boot. And it's going to be with a number of players around the contest once again. So it's going to be held up. And again, the same thing will happen. Another ball up will take place.
Thompson will be happy with this contested football.
Yes, that's all for Belmont to do, isn't it? So they need to get things rolling and get the ball outside the contest. So ruck contest. Now there's been an infringement again. This time it's going to Mayman. I think he just planted himself underneath the arms of Jarvis then, so I'm not too sure whether that was actually there. But Mayman now has the ball. Let's hope they change direction and not go around the boundary line, bring the back through the middle of the ground. But they're going to go around the boundary line, go looking for McPherson. But again, mark out the back is going to be taken easily by Davis. So he will return fire with a kick, I would imagine, straight down the line. And that's what he does. Goes back to where it came from. Again, ruck contest out the back. Another mark easy. So they're just playing kick to kick out there at the moment. So need to change direction, try something different. McNamara just running around the back this time, but again the ball's going to be put back again. I'm going to back Jarvis this time to head it up there. The mark not taken. It was a good fly out the back. It goes to Buck again. Left hand goes round the body, goes back towards the boundary line. The ball sits inside just to feel the play. Picked up, and I reckon that might be still taken high by Maguire. And that's the case. Zach Plant reckons he ducked his head, but he's going to win possession of it. So Steele now with the ball again in the half-back line. He's put himself under a little bit of pressure here. Needs some support. I don't know if there's too much around. Goes back to McNamara. He's tackled, held up. Good work, Thompson. Again, the pressure has been there, as it has been all day, and they've maintained it. So they hold the ball up in their half-forward line. So we've gone just on 4 minutes. Final quarter, Morris Finance final quarter. Belmont Lions 8-5, 10-14 to Thompson.
Still got a lot of time here, Belmont. They don't have to rush. Start being a little bit more urgent, but they don't have to just bomb down the line. Or there was nearly a big fly over the top. Exactly that. You don't have to do
unrealistic attempt.
Unrealistic attempt. It was from McPherson. It's going to go the way of Hobbs. So Jackson Hobbs is going to handball to back. It's going to go corridor side. And it was a good one-on-one contest between Hannessy and I think it was Pelham. Ball got out the back now. It was beautifully picked up. And then from McNamara, he went the other way. And then it finds Murdoch. Murdoch kicks straight down the line of Hobbs. And it was really well read and a good position that Hobbs was in. Probably not the best kick, though. Sorry, Hobbs. He decides to go longer this time, and that's not his best kick. Goes to Steele.
We've got to get someone down there to improve their structure. They just can't keep kicking in and letting it come back. We've got to have someone run into some spaces.
They've got to switch on here. They can kick this next kick off. They can get it to Lindsay. Lindsay can go to Eddie, and Eddie will be off. That's what he's done. Lindsay's got the ball, and then he's going to Eddie. But Thompson have shut it down quickly.
Yeah, they didn't get it to him quickly enough. Dylan Joe saw what was going to happen, and he got there to stop them.
On the short kick, coming back was Dalla. He put enough pressure on, but the mark was still taken. Wilson is going to go inside 50. He's got McPherson. He's going to go short to Murdoch. Murdoch looks up. He's got McPherson moving, and he's got Evans if he wants to go down the line. Neither of them are really giving a lead, though, so he might just have to go for the kick and hope. It's in the path of Evans. He goes up, but he can't quite. Ball hits the ground now. Here's an opportunity still. The goal. That was beautifully done by Charlie Russell. He was like De Gea on the goal line. Parries the ball away. It was a shot from Johnson, I think.
Kicked it straight into him.
Charlie Russell take a bow. It's a minor score. 54-75. Fourth quarter brought to you by Morris Finance.
So the ball's brought out.
Oh, that's a free, I think.
Been taken. Umpire says allowed it. Maybe a little bit early with the body work, but the ball now from Wilson goes back inside. Mark taken out there by Johnson, so he now needs to keep things rolling, but there's not much movement. McPherson comes at him. That's where he goes to, a little bit over the top, and the marker's out there by Andersev. Slipping in behind him.
It could have been a kick there for a tunnel too.
So the ball now goes across the ground. Bark has it. And he is inside defensive 50 again. Options. Not much movement further down the field, but a low flat kick. Went back to Andersev and he transfers play far side of the ground. Space out there. And Maguire it is, I think, with the ball. Or Hennessy now, I'm not too sure. Maguire was right the first time. Ball again, short, just possession football from the Thompson side, so they can look back inside if they want to, have Russell by himself.
They won't be looking back inside too much.
So the ball now goes down the line and towards their half-forward line. Out the back, handball comes over the top. Belmont with some numbers, go outside. Murdoch had it, couldn't keep control of it. Ends up with out there with Evans, and again the handball outside, over the top to Michelle. And it's been intercepted. Good strong tackle. Ball has gone over the boundary line with player, and a throw-in will take place.
You let it go a bit. I reckon there was about 3 throws in there somewhere, but let it go if you want.
That's it. If you're not too sure, just let it roll.
Let it go, exactly.
So Jarvis, as we said, back there. Moment also doing the ruck work. Thrown back in. Moment front position, but Jarvis worked his way to that position. Ball goes back towards the boundary line. Again, some numbers around the contest, and umpire will ask for it back once again. So Ruckman at it. Jarvis just a little hand down to Kamarich. Handball's outside to Maguire. Tried to fend off and lost the ball. Maybe that could have been dropping it, but the umpires allowed it to go on once again.
Did he fend?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he did.
So once you fend, you do lose your prior, but gee, it would have been a tough one to pay. I think that's fine.
So with the umpire again to be thrown back in. Again, Ruckman go at it, and Jarvis actually ended up on his knees there. Ball comes through his legs, picked up nice and cleanly. Reckon that might have been Allen that got tackled and brought to ground. And it's going to go back to the umpire again. So we might change over here. 9 minutes gone, final quarter. 10-14 to the Thompson side. 8-6 Belmont Lions.
Ball down. It was a very well-roved tap, but it was great pressure from Belmont coming back the other way. So very contested try again. Very contested football here as the ball's down. Murdoch trying to get through. You can throw a blanket over 15 players right now. They're going to handball out. Finally got some space. Here goes Plan into the path of Jose. Jose, was a good fist over the top. Very good defensive effort on that occasion. It was Pelham.
I'm staying there. Finally, they've got Evans where he should be, but now he's sort of going right up the ground again and swapping over. I'm keeping Evans in the goal square.
Leave him one out?
I'm keeping him in the goal square. That's where they've won a lot of games with his strength.
So 55 metres out from Thompson's goal. Ball back in now. Neither team wins the tap. And then the ball is... I'd love to know how many stoppages we've had this quarter. It's up there.
Well,
10 minutes gone.
That's how Thompson won every game in the finals last year, by stoppages and by forcing the ball wide.
Down now. Jarvis got the tap. Neither team could really win the ball, and now it's in the forward 50. Cam might take this mark. Ooh. It's hit the ground. Here's Whisper Hennessy. It bounces over the top. They steal a chance here. It's going to be a holding free kick, and it's going to go the way of Thompson.
Wow.
Billy Smets from point-blank range will kick Thompson's 11th goal and extend the margin. Oh, he's kicked it, and they're going to pay another 50 anyway, but there's no point. So, good goal from Thompson, good team play, and Billy Smith sends it off. 8-6-54 to 11-14-80. 10.5 minutes gone on the fourth quarter scoreboard, brought to you by Morris Finance.
Well, I reckon that just about kills them off. They were battling, but Thompson just made sure they didn't get the ball too far forward from the score. It's funny, they've had about 20 free kicks to about 10 here today. 7 free kicks to Thompson inside 50. But, that's nothing. That free kick was there. It's not saying they're not there, but I know people will argue with me that it's not discipline, but disciplined footballers don't give away 7 free kicks inside. Oh, I thought there was a couple of dicey ones early, but you don't give that many away.
So back in the middle once again, ball thrown up in the air. This time Cam, he's up a little bit early, but it's Camarage that comes from the middle of the ground, kicks into the half-forward line. Joes, Pelham did nicely to get the ball to ground. Della leads in the race for the ball. Can't pick the ball up. He's still got it in front of him, but the ball will beat him over the boundary line. So another throw-in will take place.
Just got to bend down and pick it up.
Yes, as he said, he's probably not the urgency that he needed to anyway, because it was heading towards the boundary line. So he's got a little bit of cover because he knows that they're in front. A little bit of time off the clock. Umpire to restart it with a throw-in. Again, ruck contest. Jarvis reaches up over the top. Went to Marnie, but couldn't get that one. Picked up Hennessy, puts it on the boot, and I'll tell you what, that also looks like a good finish. But it wasn't done before. It is definitely gone now. That's their 12th. Thompson, 12-14. They lead Belmont Lions an 8-6, and we've gone almost 13 minutes. Morris. But that's all, folks. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
13 minutes. I can't believe that. I tell you, that they've obviously thought this could be it because, look, yes, it was a good kick. It was a beautiful goal. Maybe a contender for the Connectel goal of the day. But when the ball was kicked there, he had 5 metres of space to use. You're not allowed to have 5 metres. You're only allowed him half a metre so you can tackle him. He had 5 metres and made it so much easier for him to kick a goal.
Back in the middle now. Cam in the ruck for the time being. Starting to stamp their dominance on this game. Kamarich wins the ball out. There could be some more to come. Into the path again of the man with a hot hand at the moment. There should be a free kick to him. Umpire says play on. Maxi Della gets the ball forward. It's in the... Jed Hannessy might run onto another one here. If he gets the hands, it comes out. Handball now. Ooh. It is. Does get
that could be a sling tackle.
Well, I thought it was. But no, it's all right. Umpire had perfect view of it. So,
but did you see what I mean that time? He got to the ball. He didn't have that 3 or 4 metres space. He had half a metre tackled down, and that's what should have happened the ball before.
Back in now. Cam down. The plant, I think it was. It's going to be a high tackle. Another shot at goal here for Thompson.
Make that 8 free kicks inside 50.
It's going to go the way of Zach Plant. From no more than 25 metres out, directly in front pretty much. To extend Thompson's lead, and it's starting to get ugly here for Belmont. And there's 50 as well for descent towards the umpire.
Wow.
They're taking right, and exactly what you're saying, Grub. They're just, the discipline's gone out the window in this last quarter. So, 8-6, 54 Belmont to 13-14, 92 Thompson, with 15 minutes gone on the fourth quarter scoreboard, brought to you by Morris Finance.
You get a chance now as coaches of Belmont. Normally during the game, a 50 or down the ground free kick, because of the use of rotations, very rarely do you take a bloke off and sit him down and say, come on, you can't win the game. The game's over. Take the bloke off who did the descent, sit him on the bench and say, you're done for the day, champ.
Yep.
Because it's not going to affect your team anymore, but you're still sending a message that if you're going to play finals, you've got to have a little bit of discipline among you.
Yes, ball back in the middle once again. This time Evans moved in there, but it's Kamarich out of the middle once again. Little chip over the top, goes towards Della. Couldn't get to the contest. It was almost trapped there, picked up out there. Russell was swung as he kicked the ball, and it has gone through.
Lawrence it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And through for a minor score. So 13-15 now to the Thompson side, and 8-6 to Belmont Lions, and we've gone 15.5.
Look at the flags now, Smithy. They're down.
Down beside the post. Ball brought back in quickly and straight up the middle, and it's going to be held up once again as the ball came out of that marking contest. Taken there by Summers, but tackled straight away. So Jarvis, as I said, he's done most of the work since he's come back to the ground. Picked up out there, Bark. It was tackled high. No, umpire's allowed it to go on. He needs to probably get the ball out of there, but he's maybe been held in by Belmont player in Summers.
He's just showed us what a good ruckman he is, Jarvis, and he's possibly the best in the comp.
So Jarvis now taps that ball down, goes inside, picked up there. Summers got the handball over the top. Kicked off the ground, Jacker, as good as anything you'll see this afternoon. Got some ground, bounces nicely. Hennessy, little chip up over the top, goes towards Smets again. He's out in front. His hands are good.
Well, he's been good.
And
Don't
he
worry
has
about
got
that.
a mark out in front. Did that pretty nicely because Steele was right on his hammer.
G. Hennessy's composed for a 21-year-old.
Oh, most definitely is. I think he kicked 6 a couple of weeks ago against Werribee and just run wild down up forward, wing.
He had a great final series last year as well.
Yeah, he's going to be. He may even be good enough at 21 to go on and play, say, a GFL with a GFL. If I was a GFL club, I know he's pretty slight, but if I was a GFL club, I'd be having a bit of a look at him, especially one of the clubs like St Albans or Grovedale and all that. I'm not quite sure he's big and strong enough for St Mary's, but I'd be having a look at this kid if he's only 21 because I think he's got the skills.
South Barwon Junior as well.
Yeah.
So Billy Smith steps in now from inside 50, kicks that goal. It's hanging out there. The umpire said it is
missed another one.
okay. Yeah, he has. And it's through for a minor score. So 13-16 now to Thompson. 8-6 Belmont Lions, 17 minutes gone. Morris Finance, final quarter
What's
action.
he kicks, Minnie?
He has got 2-3 for the afternoon.
2-3. Probably should have had 5 straight from his kicks, I think.
If he had the
One of them was Smithy's fault. As he goes back now. Out as, I think it's Wilson, takes a bounce and then goes as far as he can, finds Evans now. That was pretty well done. Now they're going to go coast to coast here. They can get a kick up. It's going to be up to Murdoch. Murdoch has Jacker in front of him. He goes, but Hobbs in a great spot
That's
again.
where Evans should be now. Not up there kicking it.
Hobbs goes quickly. He's read the ball well in this last quarter, Jackson Hobbs, and he's gone to Bren Gardner. He started red hot. It's been a bit quieter since then, but he's going to go back to the other side of the ground and find Davis. Now Davis looks up a field. He's got McFadgen, anti-serve. He's going to go to Jacker, and why wouldn't you with a kick like that? He goes down the line, and as I've said that, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
That's what they do.
No, it might be a boundary throw-in. There it is. So we'll have a boundary throw-in. True centre ground. True centre.
He's doing
wing.
you. True centre ground. Don't listen to him, Archie.
True centre wing, far side of the ground. Back
You
in
think too
now.
fast. You think ahead of
Jarvis down. Evans did really well then. Gets it out to Johnston. Johnston's going to go inside the forward 50. Can he find a target? He can in Stapleton. Stapleton turns, looks. He goes to the lead, and can he find... Oh, no, he's kicked the ball to Brockett. Brockett hard up against the boundary, goes back inside to McPherson. McPherson got tackled now. Antis have quick hands out to Kamarich. He's been amazing this last quarter. He goes further afield to Joes. Can Joes gather the ball? No, he can't. It beats all comers, and it's going to be a ball in far side of the ground. So, how long gone this quarter, Smithy? About 20 minutes gone.
Yep, just short of.
20 minutes gone. Nearly 40 points the margin. 39 points I have. As the ball's back in now. Neither ruckman really won it. Then McFadgen, that was great hands. Goes back in the line. McNamara just overrun it now. Joes, can he find a target inside 50? It's in the path of Jed Hennessy. Whisper stands around. He might go the boom. Nah! Houdini Hennessy kicks another goal. And Thompson are 45 points up.
14-16 Thompson side. 8-6. Final quarter action. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
He gets that excited that he forgets to give the scores and the thing. But as soon as they get travelling, right, just keep going, Arch. What happened there? You tell us what happened.
He's had a good quarter.
Winchester well away now, 115, leading Corio 58. And the 14 points into Geelong West, 76 playing 62. So that game may be still up for grabs, but some work need to be done by the Yannicky boys. And the ball now, ruck contest comes out, going back towards Summers. He comes out, he was tackled, needs to release it, didn't. And Anderson laid the tackle. Umpire will come in and take possession of it. Again, another ruck contest. That's definitely got to be a free kick to Jarvis. And it will be. And he will take the free kick from right pretty much in the middle of the ground. Well, he's got soggy feet in there, so he might just want to move out. Handball around the back, goes to Anderson, and he delivers the ball into their half-forward line. Smits came up at the ball, but the interception there was pretty nicely. Out the back to Lawrence. Lawrence handballs, goes back outside, back towards Anderson. He picks the ball up. No, he didn't. Didn't left it behind in the end. Coming through was Mitchell. He couldn't do it also. Umpire this time, Aniseb lays the tackle, and he will call for the ball back. So the little bit of excitement we may have had at three-quarter time has been well and truly extinguished by a pretty good final quarter.
They can do
from
that.
the Thompson side. Kick from Johnson is smothered, goes back towards the boundary line. Ball now, handballs over the top teens up in the hands of Murdoch. He goes right out the back door. Reckon that might be Guiney White, who had that ball then. We've called him and we probably missed him a lot of times. The ball picked up again. Jarvis down doing some hard work. Evans tried to force his way
hold
through.
the ball.
And I reckon you might be right there, Grub. Did try to force his way through.
Yep.
Free kick is going to go to the Thompson side. Either Antisev or Buck will be the recipient of the free kick.
No. Oh, yeah. I was going to say.
Here's Antisev. Didn't have a lot of the ball today, but he gets great defensive pressure around the ground. Always does the 1% as well. So he goes down that line looking for Cam. The ball gets over the back now. Good tackle by Jose, and then Maguire lost it and cleans up with the tackle. Did he sling? No, he didn't. It was okay. So he'll have a stoppage. Oh, and then one of the Belmont players has just whacked one of the Thompson players. Pushed him over anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if he whacked him.
Yeah.
Just be
Whacked
careful.
whacked him was a bit of an over-exaggeration. So we're back in now. Still a bit of a scraffle going on behind the play, but that's exactly what the umpire said. Just if you ball it up, they'll just move along with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'd also like to say too. Sides coached by Paul Lynch, 20-odd minutes in the last quarter, 50 points up, and they're still doing the shepherds and the smothers, big smother. You don't need to do them at this stage of the game, but they do it because that's the way he coaches.
Go Marich rove the ball and then was happy to see it out of bounds. So it's been another Paul Lynch coaching masterclass here today. And underman Thompson coming to the top of the table. Belmont lines as the ball's roved down now by Plant and into the path of Smets. He might kick a miraculous goal here. No, he wants to share it around. He just turns blind.
Look where he's
oh,
put
beautiful.
that.
On a dime, right for Jose. They always say coaches never turn back in the side, but when you're a player of Billy Smets' calibre, you can do what you want. And he just did that beautifully and found the free player in Dylan Jose.
Looks like Scotty Pendlebury moving through there, mate. No one wanted to go and tackle him.
Yeah. He don't seem to be moving that quick, but you just don't get any closer to him.
Nah.
Reece Jones was perfect at that. He's gone, then he kicks it.
Jose to kick Thompson's 15th goal. It looks pretty good off the boot. He's kicked it. Continue to stamp their dominance here, Thompson, and now it's a statement to the rest of the competition. 8-6-54 to 15-16, 106, 24 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
You know, Jose has had a long, distinguished career at Lara in the GFL, and my spies tell me he was going to retire. He didn't. They coaxed him out of it. They brought him to Thompson, and why wouldn't you? When you got a bloke like Billy Smets putting them down your throat like that, making it easy for you. It's just beautiful to watch.
24 gone, final quarter. Ball this time, Cam, ruck contest through the middle. Goes into the hands of Murdoch. Marnie's there, trying to lend support. Jarvis is also in the middle of the ground. Got the ball out, goes towards Evan. Sitting a little kick off the ground was some good work there by Plant. Goes outside to Gardner. He's tackled but was able to get rid of the ball. I think that might be Hennessy over the top of it. Again, Gardner back working at ground level. Ball still kept going. Johnson comes out with it tackled and had no prior opportunity to get rid of that ball, and it will be another ball up. So just outside forward 50. Ruckman go at it, and again ball from that contest. Kamarich on hands and knees, I think it is. Got the handball out, did that nicely. Gardner around the body into the half forward line. Coming through Pelham, didn't take clean possession of it. Ball comes outside there, ends up with Didstow. He got the handball outside, so they continue to run from the half back line. That was Brockett, I think, that had the ball outside and ends up in the hands of McNamara. So on the half back line, got a runner inside, uses that player now, and along the boundary line they come. Short kick wasn't good. Hobbs got in the way there, couldn't take the mark or affect anything, and it's going to be, again, a ball up to take place.
It's just amazing that they're still running, chasing, tackling at this point of the game. And that's what the Thompson Football Club pretty much always been about, especially this side here.
Yep, so the ball now from that contest comes outside. Della put his head over it. Oh, it could have been taken a little bit high, but did put his head into there, I suppose.
He did. No,
Marnie
wouldn't have paid it.
escapes with it, comes outside. Evans didn't or couldn't take clean
That's a bit
possession.
high. No.
No. Let go again. Umpire has going to ball it up once again.
I agree Dalla there. I understand why they didn't pay it, but he had his head over the ball. So I thought if you had your head over the ball and still put your head in it, they can still
Not
pay
if
it.
you run head first into a pack like
if
he
he had
did.
been standing
You got
up,
to
I think you're
stop
right.
that because you'll get hurt.
Yeah.
So the ball now from that contest again comes out. Bark had the
He's
ball,
been
goes
good.
over the top. Yep. Dempster again goes out the back door. He has frees up a player, and that was nice work because it ends up in the hands of Marnie now. Just attacking side of centre wing and 50 metres now. And I'm not too sure that was for the man on the mark or someone running close to him, I think. Which I think might have been the latter, I believe.
If it's the latter, it's probably Maxi Della.
So one of the two definitely just in there.
Ran within the 5 metres, you reckon?
I think so, because I don't think the bloke on the mark.
I don't think
was,
he went off it, so...
Russell didn't move, so the ball from Brock Marnie kicked that goal, and he is offline through for a minor score. 1-1 for that player this afternoon. 8-7 now, the Belmont Lions. 15-16, Thompson, and 27.5 minutes gone. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Short kick out from, I think it might have been Mel, I didn't see, it might have been Jacko, down to Josh Cam. Josh Cam up and under kick, trying to find his brother in Geordie. Geordie couldn't quite take the mark. The ball got past Jarvis, and then Plant in and under as always, trying to win that ball in the contested pack, and the ball is wrapped up, so we'll have a stoppage just attacking side of defensive 50 for Thompson, as Back's going to run after this ball. Plant wins the ball again, in and under. Now Marnie went out wide to Murdoch, and Murdoch was wrapped up instantaneously. So another stoppage here. Only 27.5 minutes, nearly 28 minutes gone, so it wouldn't be much longer to go. Antisev couldn't trap that one. Ball inside 50 now, and Jacker, as he's done for so long. Oh no, it was touched
Must
off
have
the
been
boot.
touched.
So he had to go quickly. Now Kamaric tries to face the ball, coming back the other way. Murdoch, he's had a pretty good game. Comes out to Allen, and Allen's wrapped up by 2 or 3 Thompson players, and that's that. Oh, it's going to be paid. So
Well, Kamaric got flattened behind the play by his own teammate, run into the back of him. He dived for a free kick, not knowing that it was his own man. Surely you've had enough kicks today, son, to try and milk one.
Cam goes down, trying to find the other Cam. He got the ball down. Well done. Della overrun it. Now it comes to Plant. Back to Geordie Cam. He goes in the path of Hannessy. Can Hannessy get there? Of course
Yes,
he
he
can.
does.
There's not too many things this kid can't do. Now he's played on. He's got himself into some trouble. Oh, but he just dances around him as cool as you like. Inside forward 50. Jose will take the mark.
Nah.
If not, free kick. No, it's touched. It will be a ball in 35 metres out from Thompson's attacking goal. So 28.5 minutes gone, or 29 minutes gone. 55 to 106. Thompson really charging away in this last quarter. Ball. Ruckman tussle at it here. Geordie Cam's been good all day. Into the corridor. It was really well done, although it was wrapped up. It probably should have been holding the ball. Umpire says play on. Fair enough as well. And now it's wrapped up, so I have a stoppage 40 metres out from Thompson's goal. And we're up again here. Couldn't be much too long to go as the ball will have a fourth repeated stoppage unless the umpire pays that. No, he says throw it in. So 30 minutes gone in this last quarter. 8-6-54 to 15-16, 106.
Winchester have beaten Crier by about 57 points, and the Giants have beaten Anarchy by 14.
Wow, that's
Back
a
in.
big hit.
Back in now. Hennessy trying to row the ball. Couldn't quite. In a very contested game this last quarter. Exactly like Paul Lynch would have wanted. As you said, Grub, they won a grand final, a premiership on the back of doing this contested style of football.
You bet they did.
So comes back now into the corridor. McFadgen running hard, chasing, and the ball is going to beat all comers and go out of bounds. May have dropped a couple of degrees as well in temperature. A bit cold now. So back in. Cam down to the centre. A couple of players roving. Get the ball out to Hobbs. He gets tackled instantaneously, and then the ball is stopped. So 50 metres out from Thompson's goal. There's 31 minutes gone. 8:6:54 to 14:15. 106.
Tell you what, if you're from the Snake Pit, you do not want to listen to this. St Albans 22-18, 150. Lara 1-6-12.
And this is not what you want to see. We've got an injury late in the game here. Nearly as late as you can have it. Looks like, is it Johnston? Yeah, Johnston's down.
Surely they can apply the mercy rule, couldn't
I
they?
reckon they could. I reckon they could.
Don't think it's going to change the result of this game.
Well, most certainly not.
Player has got to his feet, so he's all right. He looks like he will come from the ground. Probably could do it unassisted, but he has got some help there from one of the trainers, so good to see him up and about. As I said, you don't want injuries at any stage of the game, but 32 minutes into the final quarter is not the best time to be getting one.
You blame the timekeepers for not ringing the siren a minute ago.
Yeah, no, just apply that mercy rule, mate, I told you. I would think he's far enough outside to start the play again. So it's been a one-way affair in this final quarter with Thompson kicking 5 goals, 3.
Don't realise the umpire realise I have to go all the way back to Werribee. Throw it up, son.
So the ball now thrown back up, and again from that contest, Gardner, quick hands outside, Kamaric runs it, goal, and he is offline, by a long way. Didn't even get close there. And it's over the boundary line and out of bounds in the full. Free kick going to the Belmont Lions. Pretty close to beside the behind post as McPherson comes on as that replacement player. Ball now from the back pocket. It goes out long, out towards the centre wing. Contest made out there, coming through. And it's a nice rove off the contest. The ball's kicked forward, so it's going to be on now. Race, Jacker, and also McPherson. McPherson, the first to arrive. Stops, props, looks, goes back on the right, kicks round the body, back towards the goal square. How will it bounce? It will bounce okay. And through for a late goal as the siren sounds to end everything here this afternoon, which will see Thompson comfortable winners, 15 goals, 16. Run out winners to Belmont Lions, 9 goals, 7. Goal kickers for the home side, McPherson with 3, Stapleton with 2, 1 each to Murdoch, Brockett and Wilson. And for the Thompson side, 3 each to Boyd. As I said, all before half-time. Hannessy, 2 each to Cam, Jose and Smets, and 1 to Maguire, Plant and Gardner. Take a short break, come back. As I said, we've given final scores from around all the other games this afternoon. We'll give some votes and look forward to where we're going the following Saturday. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. that might be the case. As I said, the Belmont Lions have been going about it without a lot of their better players for a number of weeks now. Hopefully, they are not long-term injuries, and they should be starting to filter back through in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do some votes first, and I'll start things off this afternoon.
Oh, he's confident.
Hey? Yeah, no, I've got to make it through the afternoon. So finally, I'm going to give one vote to Jacob Steele from the Belmont Lions. I thought he was clearly their best player in defence, and had a number of possessions, and was able to work pretty well with that game, with the number of balls were coming down into their defence. So I thought he was a good game from him. My 2 votes goes to Kamarick. Called it a fair few times, I reckon, Cam to Kamarick, and then also when the big fella Jarvis came in, he was also there. He's a good midfield player, uses the ball well, and presents or gives these forwards the best opportunity, as we said. And my 3 votes I'm going to give to Jordan Cam. I thought his ruck work early, and then around the ground, and also when he moved forward, he is a very good player and has continued that form on through most of the season. So that's how I saw this game this afternoon, boys. How do you see it?
You want to go next, Rob?
Go on, you go next and get rid of the bull dust.
So 1 vote. The kid that I said there's nothing he couldn't do, Jed Hannessy. I thought, especially in the last quarter, I thought he ran well all day, and I think, especially as you said, Grubb, I think he's got the ability and the potential to go on and play a higher level than GDFL, but I think he's playing really well at the moment. I think Kamaric, as Smithy just outlined, he was so composed of the football. He ran all day. I just feel like since we saw him earlier in the year, he had his first game back in. You can just see he's so much more comfortable. Like in his positions, and he's probably more been around the club more and getting to know the players more. And but yeah, no, he had a great game for me. And then 3 votes, I can't argue with Smithy. I thought Jordan Cam, not just his ruck craft early in the game when Jarvis wasn't there. I thought he held his own in the ruck and beat his opponent pretty well. But then I thought around the ground, his contested marking, his agility for such a big player, I thought was outstanding. So I've given him 3 votes best on ground.
Well, I'd like to cheat here because I think if he hadn't been out chasing crooks, Jarvis would have been so far the best on the ground by a mile, but he didn't play the first quarter. So I'm nearly going to have to leave him out. But I reckon Jordan Cam was fantastic. I've got to give him a vote. He probably didn't touch the ball after about the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, and that's what... Oh, he got a kick late, and that's what I dropped him back to 1. I had him at 3, by the way. But I dropped him back to 1 because he dropped his game a little bit. I gave 2 votes to Smets. He was just sensational, Smets. He's kicking. If he had a kick straight, I know if the dog hadn't stopped for a shit, he'd have caught a rabbit. But seriously, he just did everything. Forward. He's supposed to play as a forward, but he'd go up the ground. And 3 votes, right? I watched this bloke today. I've watched him before. I reckon he was involved in 30 clearances, centre clearances for the day. Right? Most of them he just run out on good ruck work. But I watched him closely when the ball dropped in the glue, and every time it came out to a Thompson player, it came from Ben Kamarick, and I thought he was best on the ground by a mile. A mile.
Well, you can have the swaying vote because both Cam and Kamarick have both got 7 points
I know
each.
that. Why do you think I give Cam 1, you idiot?
Well, you should have put him in at all then. You should have left him out and it would have been obvious.
I couldn't. He played too well. But I tell you what, his first quarter in the ruck was fantastic.
Yep.
But then the big fella came on the ground after chasing crooks, and he just showed you how easy it is done because he absolutely murdered him.
Yeah,
and if he plays 4
up
quarters...
against their third ruckman.
It doesn't matter who he's up against. He's only up against who he can play against.
Yeah, he can only beat who he can beat.
Cam was up against their third best ruckman in the first quarter too. But I tell you who was going to get the votes for mine. Boyd was going to get the votes for mine because he just was everything. And then he's done the calf again. You know, even Jacko was doing some nice things too, and he's gone too. So, well, how many of these tickets have we got? We might give them both
2, yeah, give them both one.
We might give them both one because
We can take each other.
there's no way I'm not giving Ben Kamarick one because I watched him
make a decision. It doesn't
specifically.
worry me which way you go.
I know, but I watched him specifically in the centre. Not only all his clearances, but the little ones that were coming out were from him every single time. He actually did it better than what Planty did, and Planty does that beautifully. He took Plant's role today.
We'll see if we can give them both one then if we have the available.
Oh, might as well give you one too.
So as we know, this afternoon, Thompson comfortable winners here this afternoon, and Geelong West were too good for Anarchy.
Wow.
And the Winchester
Big on.
Blues, they had a win over the Cryo Devils. So next week we have got 3 games coming up in the split round. We've got the Belpost Hill taking on the Werribee Central boys at the Belpost Hill. The Clash of the River or the highway, whatever you want to call it, and that's Inverleigh and Bannockburn.
The highway.
Or neighbours, yeah.
You've
Well,
got
it's across
no
the river.
idea what you're talking
No,
about.
well, I know what the highway is. There's a split road there. You want to travel it sometime. And East Geelong take on North Geelong next week, and I reckon that might be where we're going to go next week. I think we might go and see East Geelong take on North Geelong. That'll be 2 versus 3.
Well,
as it stands, well, maybe not so much as it stands now. I'm not too sure that what does to the Thompson put them up higher, but we'll wait and see.
good build-up, but that's where we're always going to go. So,
Thank you, Rub.
right, and you don't get a vote. Look, I tipped Belmont at the start until you read me out their injuries and I changed. Right? Well, it's on tape, idiot. So listen. But they just had too many out. I know they cover their injuries well, but they got 9 of their best 22 out. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. Thompson lost 2 blokes during a game, which to me is double jeopardy. Right, especially as both of them were playing really well. And they just kept on going and going and going. And as I said, sides coached by Paul Lynch, 25 minutes into the last quarter, 50 points in front, and blokes are smothering and shepherding, and they're doing those things right till the end. And I tell you who I wanted to give a mention to, Bark, number 71. He never stopped all day. I don't think 71.
No, he's saying Mallet.
Dan Mowat.
No, I'm not talking about best players. I'm talking about blokes that never stopped and had a go and chased and did all that. And those things help you win finals. It helped them to win finals last year because their whole team was doing it. And their whole team did it today. But I just love the way that bloke, a minute to go, and he's chased a bloke 30 metres knowing that he couldn't catch him. But he still chased. But as you said, Beasley, one of the best players in the comp. Thompson, don't know too much about. Vermeulen, handy. Jared's a good player. Alex, nearly their best player. Woods, nearly their best player. Slorak's easily their best defender. You'd have to agree with that. Wiley's been good for them, and that Nick Sheriff's a good player too. So they will come back, right? They will come back on a bigger ground with all those blokes in. We don't know what Thompson have got coming back. Does Boyd come back? Does Knight come back? Does Troop come back? And if they do, is it round 17? Yes. So that means they've got 1 game each to try and get into a final. So if you've got 5 players with 1 game under their belt from finals, it is a worry. I'm not saying they won't win, but it is a big worry.
There's some doubt.
There is doubt with so many. Well, you say Boyd will come back. That's 2 calves in a couple of weeks. I think it could be about. I don't know if you'll see him again, but you've got to give him credit. Like, to me, I know we try to build it up at 3/4 time. Belmont kick a couple towards the end, and we say, "Oh, Thompson are 2 down. Belmont are not." This could be it. After 3 minutes into today's game, there was only ever going to be 1 winner, and that was Thompson.
Yep.
Can't disagree.
Freeman's another one.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I thought Freeman, after last year, he's had a great career. He's nearly done. I was speaking to a couple of the Thompson blokes. He's had a hell of a good year. So he is dangerous too.
He started back and been playing forward again, hasn't he?
Nick Lynch as well.
Nick Lynch, he's had a great month. Even Troopy's had a magnificent month. So, look, I think from what I hear, Belmont will get all of these blokes back. Sam Jones played in the seconds. Get him fit. He's a danger. He's a brilliant player. But we don't know how fit or unfit he is. Right? But they'll get all these blokes back. And they'll get them back, from what I've been told, in reasonable time. Right? So that'll help them. But we don't know how many of these really good players from Thompson we're going to get back and get back in good fit condition.
Yeah, and in time, as I said, they need a bit of game time under their belt. And as I said, you can do all the training you like on a training track, but when you get out and play a game of football, it's 2 different circumstances.
All bar Knight.
Yep.
I think he can not play at all and still do that.
Yeah, maybe.
He nearly did it last year.
Well, Grub, it's about time that you... So you're going to give 2 vouchers, or are you going to
Yeah, I'll give 2 vouchers.
Righto, and you better thank our sponsors. And
Can
we know
anyone spell Cameric before I keep going?
KAM.
ARIC.
See.
And Cameric. And...
Thank our sponsors, then we can let the Elvis Hour take over and get home and watch Geelong.
What's the time?
5-2.
Oh, we've got plenty of time. We've got
Plenty
5
of
minutes.
Righto, Grab. Headed away.
Thank you very much again. And I think this has been let go a little bit over the last couple of weeks. I don't think you've really given it a great go, but well done anyway. But for our quarter sponsors, Buckley's, who wouldn't go to Buckley's? They've got everything there. Elders Insurance, P&R Foods, and go and see Martin Carter, who'll give you a quid from Morris Finance. Routley's, the big men fly for the Routley's pie. Thank you very much. Victory trophies. The Hotham Hotel, best on the ground today. Went to Ben Kamerick and Geordie Cam. And Maury, don't go trying to recruit them when they come in for dinner. One of the best dinners you'll have. But if you go to the West, you can't miss the Yards Hotel. Victory trophies. We didn't have a player of the day today. There was 2 or 3 of them. But for Kempy Engineering, read the play. Thank you very, very much. From Athlete's Foot, Promoted Trophies, and Connectel. Yeah, that's right, Connectel. For the goal today.
Good job, Grub. Good to have you back on board, and we look forward to our coverage next week. So to Arch and to Grubby, as I said, back in the chair, and to Brad and Tyler for their work that they do. As I said, even when it gets cold, you can't knock the bloke out the front there. He's just trudging along. So until next week, from all of us here, it's I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.